day is taken away from you. What control do you have over your day now?
Most people have to be chained to a desk for 40 hours a week and they're not allowed to leave.
When you wake up in the morning and you feel like shit and you have to wipe the sleep from your eyes and like look around and be like, why does this have to happen this early in the morning? That's a capitalism.
And it controls everything, like your healthcare, your education. It all comes down to making money, but some things just don't make money. Honestly, ask yourself, how afraid are you of getting an injury and how that could possibly fuck up your life?
Yeah. You're being stopped from skateboarding, breakdancing, doing anything fun, because if you get injured, you're fucked forever. You can't go to work.
And so then you have all these people that say, well, we can make a kinder capitalism, a more conscious capitalism. It isn't gonna fucking happen. We need anarchy, we need socialism, we need communism, we need anything but more capitalism.
But wait, Brett. When you go to the grocery store, you have almost unlimited choice. You can buy 100 different types of cereals.
All made from the same stuff with different graphics on the outside.
All corn. It's basically just a bunch of boxes of corn.
That's capitalism.
It actually treats about 1% of the population like humans, and the rest of us like tools for those superhumans. You don't have any money, your bank account's low? I know where the money is. Jeff Bezos has it, the Waltons have it.
And they took it from us, right?
They took it from us.
We're just getting our money back.
Yeah, your work made that money. You deserve that money. That's your money. The 1% has never decided to do the right thing. That's why we have to take power and just spread it out among the 100% of people that exist. Polite
It's
about
just
it.
not the polite way to have sex.
That's just
I-
really one way to have sex that's polite, and it's to say, ma'am, or sir, or non-binary person, would you like to enjoy some making love with me? And then if they answer yes, then you mount that person and you move back and forth politely, and then you kind of finish it up and you say, that was great, and then you never mention it again. That's the right way to have sex, okay?
And folks, and that's why we don't do any sort of sex advice or sex stuff on this show, because there's none to be given.
I am wise!
I want you to write the polite sex book, like the proper polite method.
I just said it.
I mean, I tell you what, even the jobs that paid me nothing, like when I was first learning them, it was like, all right, I can do this. You just need somebody to get the plates and make them go from here to here. I can be the master of that. I was really into that, and I can do that. But after a while, it's like, you guys treat me like shit, and I get the plates from here to here every fucking time, and you talk down to me and shit. What's going on?
Jesus,
you're counting my lunches. Like, you're looking at what I'm eating. You're like figuring out when I'm going out to smoke. Like, all of a sudden, you're in my shit. But all you said you wanted from me was the plates to go from here to here, and I'm getting the plates from here to here.
God, that was the most accurate representation of how I feel when I get a job. At first, I'm helpless. I'm a little baby. I'm sucking off the teat of the manager to tell me what I need to do. You know, I don't want to, my wings aren't fully formed yet. And then once I learn what I'm doing, I'm like, y'all could treat me a lot better for this. I deserve a lot more for this.
Wow, this is some bullshit right here. Now that you kicked me out of the nest and I'm flying through the sky and trying to flap my wings here, I don't think you're giving me enough.
I don't like this
You
at
didn't
all.
set me up right.
How many times have you gone into work and then looked at your boss and said, what are they doing? You ever think about the levels at a job, Brett? Of course, the people on the very bottom. What do they do?
Usually clean.
Yeah, and then there is the people just above them. They're the ones that do the second hardest job at the place, right?
Deal with customers?
Yeah, that sort of thing. And then there's another level above that, and that's the manager that's in the place. Now let's think about what comes after that, right? You might have a guy named like Glenn that comes to your office every 6 months, and you have to lay out the red carpet for Glenn. Think about what the person above Glenn does. Jerry is the person above Glenn, right?
Okay.
His job is basically going to lunch, right?
Yeah, powerful meetings,
Yeah.
shaking hands real hard.
We're gonna go up to the CEO now. The people that sit around a table and who knows what they're doing? Nobody knows what they talk about.
Playing cards.
What connection does that person have to what you do and what the customer gets. It just seems like you could really chop like 5 or 6 levels off of any job and the company would still run perfectly.
Think about your job. Now imagine your manager isn't there. How much smoother would your day run?
I mean, how many of you work a job where you don't even know who the fucking CEO is of the company? That means they're absolutely useless. They're parasites.
They're on the top, getting most of the money, sending their kids to private school, driving the fanciest cars, and they can't make a sandwich. Every new level of hierarchy is more money coming out of your paycheck. Unions are fucking great because it's not HR.
You need solidarity with the other workers. We need to use that and exercise that. You and your other workers are the most important people at that company. I mean, hell, the way I think about it, maybe you don't get a union at all and you just take the whole company away from the bosses, and that's called a co-op.
For the almighty dollar, everyone's a slave. What's the point of doing shit if you ain't getting paid? Ay.
Oh my God, have you heard the news? Kids are dying of kratom.
That's not true.
They're injecting it into their veins.
I don't think that's happening.
An ABC Action News exclusive. A mom says a popular herb killed her son.
The most recent death happened in early June. Kratom, also known as metrogenine, was one of 4 drugs blamed for his death.
This was like the devil's drug.
It really is just a green powder that makes people feel better.
Yeah, it's a leaf. It grows from the ground, you smash it up, you make a tea out of it, you throw it down the back of your throat, you eat some capsules, and you feel better, your mind's clear. And most people that use kratom don't have access to healthcare or prescriptions or any of that regular medicine stuff. They get it from local stores or online.
Let's do an example here. You're a young person, you don't understand how all this works, so let me explain this to you. When you get hurt in your older age, let's say you're 34, you work on a roof, you fall off, and you crush your fucking heel, right? It's all shattered. The doctor 10, 15 years ago was like, that's fucked up, that really hurts. You're gonna need some opioids to kill that pain. And then the DEA says, no, you can't have those anymore. These doctors have to tighten up their prescriptions. And now you don't have any. You can't afford them. What do? You can take kratom. It has the same effects, it's less addictive, and it's more gross. So that even brings down the use. You're not gonna use it as much. Kratom kills the pain in your body. It also cures social anxiety.
The government's solution to stuff like this is always prohibition, which means putting more people in jail.
How big is your appetite for the war on drugs? I'm sure it's small. It's shrinking every single day. Don't let them continue it. Don't let them outlaw more stuff.
Good point.
Thank you.
Before we commence expelling this ghost from this location, before we save Jake from the lock, I will light the ceremonial herb that will give us the sight, that will give us the power we need to set Jake free. My Twitter's not working out here. Let's see if you can get a ghost. Go ahead and try. I summon the ghost into ghostly ghostness. Come the fuck out if you're a real ghost. Now. Demand it. This is how we fucking hunt ghosts. And as we've pointed out, and as we've said, there are no ghosts. So this is where the ghosts live, from what we know. And he's not home. Let me try this. Jake, you may overtake my body. I accept you into my heart and soul. Please, if you are here, take control of me. Use me as a vessel. Gross. Nothing. Yeah, no ghosts. So I guess the lesson of Beaver Creek is there's no such thing as ghosts. There's no God, and the Bible is a lie. Off to Helltown to find out what the government's up to. in the middle of fucking nowhere, Ohio. Hell yeah, bumping out here. Can I get some of this safety herb in my lungs, please? And thank you, are welcome here. Jake, you can't have any because they drug test. Yeah, if you go to work, man, you're gonna get drug tested. Jake, you son of a bitch! You get out here! Hey, Jake! Ain't coming. He ain't coming because he's afraid of me, Brian Quinby from Street Fight Radio. Brett, would you like a shot at Jake?
Yeah.
Oh, I just fell in a hole. That was Jake. That was all Jake. I think we found the ghost. Jake won't let you see your mention. He's like, don't look at your phone while you're at work, motherfucker.
Can you imagine being that sensitive? Like you,
Well, that's
like
what
that
they're
is the
PC as hell.
ultimate.
Hey, you know what? This is the freest goddamn country, and it's so free that if you don't stand up, you aren't a free person. And goddamn it, boy, if you don't stand up right now, you ain't free. Because you have the freedom to do whatever you want. But I'm telling you, I have the freedom to make you feel bad for doing the freedom. Just get up and say you love it. Just get up right now, Copernic. God damn it. It's so free that you can't do it. You have to. It's free because there's only one way to be. That's why it's free. So be that. Damn you. They don't have anything to live. I mean, their kids hate them. They don't have, all their money got stolen by banksters and shit. Healthcare's running through the fucking roof.
You know, you probably hear people constantly talking about this horrible thing called capitalism.
I have.
Yeah, you've heard that?
Yes.
You're like, what? How does capitalism affect me? I will tell you, it runs your entire fucking life. You've probably heard of socialism or communism. Communism. And they say they try to control your entire life. Your whole day is taken away from you. What control do you have over your day now?
Most people have to be chained to a desk for 40 hours a week, and they're not allowed to leave.
When you wake up in the morning and you feel like shit and you have to wipe the sleep from your eyes and like look around and be like, why does this have to happen this early in the morning? That's a capitalism.
And it controls everything, like your healthcare, your education. It all comes down to making money, but some things just don't make money. Honestly, ask yourself, how afraid are you of getting an injury and how that could possibly fuck up your life?
Yeah. You're being stopped from skateboarding, breakdancing, doing anything fun, because if you get injured, you're fucked forever. You can't go to work.
And so then you have all these people that say, well, we can make a kinder capitalism, a more conscious capitalism. It isn't gonna fucking happen. We need anarchy, we need socialism, we need communism, we need anything but more capitalism.
But wait, Brett. When you go to the grocery store, you have almost unlimited choice. You can buy 100 different types of cereals.
All made from the same stuff with different graphics on the outside.
All corn. It's basically just a bunch of boxes of corn.
That's capitalism.
It actually treats about 1% of the population like humans, and the rest of us like tools for those superhumans. You don't have any money, your bank account's low? I know where the money is. Jeff Bezos has it, the Waltons have it.
And they took it from us, right?
They took it from us.
We're just getting our money back.
Yeah, your work made that money. You deserve that money. That's your money. The 1% has never decided to do the right thing. That's why we have to take power and just spread it out among the 100% of people that exist. Polite about
It's just not the polite way to have sex.
That's just really one way to have sex that's polite, and it's to say, ma'am, or sir, or non-binary person, would you like to enjoy some making love with me? And then if they answer yes, then you mount that person and you move back and forth politely, and then you kind of finish it up and you say, that was great, and then you never mention it again. That's the right way to have sex, okay?
And folks, and that's why we don't do any sort of sex advice or sex stuff on this show, because there's none to be given.
I am wise!
I want you to write the polite sex book, like the proper polite method.
Just said it.
I mean, I tell you what, even the jobs that paid me nothing, like when I was first learning them, it was like, all right, I can do this. You just need somebody to get the plates and make them go from here to here. I can be the master of that. I was really into that, and I can do that. But after a while, it's like, you guys treat me like shit, and I get the plates from here to here every fucking time, and you talk down to me and shit. What's going on?
Jesus,
you're counting my lunches. Like, you're looking at what I'm eating. You're like figuring out when I'm going out to smoke. Like, all of a sudden, you're in my shit. But all you said you wanted from me was the plates to go from here to here, and I'm getting the plates from here to here.
God, that was the most accurate representation of how I feel when I get a job. At first, I'm helpless. I'm a little baby. I'm sucking off the tea to the manager to tell me what I need to do. You know, I don't want to, my wings aren't fully formed yet. And then once I learn what I'm doing, I'm like, you know, y'all could treat me a lot better for this. I deserve a lot more for this.
Wow, this is some bullshit right here. Now that you kicked me out of the nest and I'm flying through the sky and trying to flap my wings here, I don't think you're giving me enough.
I don't like this.
You didn't set me up right.
How many times have you gone into work and then looked at your boss and said, what are they doing? You ever think about the levels at a job, Brett? Of course, the people on the very bottom. What do they do?
Usually clean.
Yeah, and then there is the people just above them. They're the ones that do the second hardest job at the place, right?
Deal with customers?
Yeah, that sort of thing. And then there's another level above that, and that's the manager that's in the place. Now let's think about what comes after that, right? You might have a guy named like Glenn that comes to your office every 6 months, and you have to lay out the red carpet for Glenn. Think about what the person above Glenn does. Jerry is the person above Glenn, right?
Okay.
His job is basically going to lunch, right?
Yeah, powerful meetings, shaking hands real hard.
We're gonna go up to the CEO now. The people that sit around a table and who knows what they're doing? Nobody knows what they talk about.
Playing cards.
What connection does that person have to what you do and what the customer gets? It just seems like you could really chop like 5 or 6 levels off of any job and the company would still run perfectly.
Think about your job. Now imagine your manager isn't there. How much smoother would your day run?
I mean, how many of you work a job where you don't even know who the fucking CEO is of the company? That means they're absolutely useless. They're parasites.
They're on the top, getting most of the money, sending their kids to private school, driving the fanciest cars, and they can't make a sandwich. Every new level of hierarchy is more money coming out of your paycheck. Unions are fucking great because it's not HR.
You need solidarity with the other workers. We need to use that and exercise that. You and your other workers are the most important people at that company. I mean, hell, the way I think about it, maybe you don't get a union at all and you just take the whole company away from the bosses, and that's called a co-op.
For the almighty dollar, everyone's a slave. Cause what's the point of doing shit if you ain't getting paid?
Oh my God, have you heard the news? Kids are dying of kratom.
That's not true.
They're injecting it into their veins.
I don't think that's happening.
An ABC Action News exclusive. A mom says a popular herb killed her son.
The most recent death happened in early June. Kratom, also known as metrogenine, was one of 4 drugs blamed for his death.
This was like the devil drug.
It really is just a green powder that makes people feel better.
Yeah, it's a leaf. It grows from the ground, you smash it up, you make a tea out of it, you throw it down the back of your throat, you eat some capsules, and you feel better, your mind's clear. And most people that use kratom don't have access to healthcare or prescriptions or any of that regular medicine stuff. They get it from local stores or online.
Let's do an example here. You're a young person, you don't understand how all this works, so let me explain this to you. When you get hurt in your older age, let's say you're 34, you work on a roof, you fall off, and you crush your fucking heel, right? It's all shattered. The doctor 10, 15 years ago was like, that's fucked up, that really hurts. You're gonna need some opioids to kill that pain. And then the DEA says, no, you can't have those anymore. These doctors have to tighten up their prescriptions. And now you don't have any. You can't afford them. What do? You can take Kratom. It has the same effects, it's less addictive, and it's more gross. So that even brings down the use. You're not gonna use it as much. Kratom kills the pain in your body. It also cures social anxiety.
The government's solution to stuff like this is always prohibition, which means putting more people in jail.
How big is your appetite for the war on drugs? I'm sure it's small. It's shrinking every single day. Don't let them continue it. Don't let them outlaw more stuff.
Good point.
Thank you.
Before we commence expelling this ghost from this location, before we save Jake from the lock, I will light the ceremonial herb that will give us the sight, that will give us the power we need to set Jake free. My Twitter's not working out here. Let's see if you can get a ghost. Go ahead and try. I summon the ghost into ghostly ghostness. Come the fuck out if you're a real ghost. Now. Demand it. This is how we fucking hunt ghosts. And as we've pointed out, and as we've said, there are no ghosts. So this is where the ghost lives, from what we know. And he's not home. Let me try this. Jake, you may overtake my body. I accept you into my heart and soul. Please, if you are here, take control of me. Use me as a vessel. Gross. Nothing. Yeah, no ghosts. So I guess the lesson of Beaver Creek is there's no such thing as ghosts. There's no God, and the Bible is a lie. Off to Helltown to find out what the government's up to in the middle of fucking nowhere, Ohio. Hell yeah. Bumping out here. Can I get some of this safety herb in my lungs, please? And thank you. Are welcome here. Jake, you can't have any because they drug test. Yeah, if you go to work, man, you're going to get drug tested. Jake, you son of a bitch! You get out here! Hey, Jake! Ain't coming. He ain't coming because he's afraid of me, Brian Quinby from Street Fight Radio. Brett, would you like a shot at Jake?
Yeah.
Oh, I just fell in a hole. That was Jake. That was all Jake. I think we found the ghost. Jake won't let you see your mention. He's like, don't look at your phone while you're at work, motherfucker.
Can you imagine being that sensitive? Like you.
Well, that's
like
what
that
they're
is the
PC as hell.
ultimate.
Hey, you know what? This is the freest goddamn country, and it's so free that if you don't stand up, you aren't a free person. And goddamn it, boy, if you don't stand up right now, you ain't free. Because you have the freedom to do whatever you want. But I'm telling you, I have the freedom to make you feel bad for doing the freedom. Just get up and say you love it. Just get up right now, Copernic. God damn it. It's so free that you can't do it. You have to. It's free because there's only one way to be. That's why it's free. So be that. Damn you. They don't have anything to live. I mean, their kids hate them. They don't have, all their money got stolen by banksters and shit. Healthcare's running through the fucking roof.
You know, you probably hear people constantly talking about this horrible thing called capitalism.
I have.
Yeah, you've heard that?
Yes.
You're like, what? How does capitalism affect me? I will tell you, it runs your entire fucking life. You've probably heard of socialism or communism. Communism. And they try to control your entire life. Your whole day is taken away from you. What control do you have over your day now?
Most people have to be chained to a desk for 40 hours a week, and they're not allowed to leave.
When you wake up in the morning and you feel like shit and you have to wipe the sleep from your eyes and look around and be like, why does this have to happen this early in the morning?
That's a capitalism.
And it controls everything, like your healthcare, your education. It all comes down to making money, but some things just don't make money. Honestly, ask yourself, how afraid are you of getting an injury and how that could possibly fuck up your life?
Yeah. You're being stopped from skateboarding, breakdancing, doing anything fun, because if you get injured, you're fucked forever. You can't go to work.
And so then you have all these people that say, well, we can make a kinder capitalism, a more conscious capitalism. It isn't gonna fucking happen. We need anarchy, we need socialism, we need communism, we need anything but more capitalism.
But wait, Brett, when you go to
everybody, welcome to Street Fight Radio. It's Sunday night. How's it going? It's Street Fight tonight. You excited? I am. We got a fire going all day. The house smells like a roaring fall evening. I'm enjoying a dark and stormy and really living it up. So, ready to take calls as always. We're a little bit late here. Sorry for those of you that called in early, but we were doing other shit.
maybe nobody called in early.
That's true as well. But we are here now. You can watch the show on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, or YouTube. Take your pick. We're there. You can jump in the chat, talk to other Street Fighters, see what they think about the show and what we're saying. And there's usually a good back and forth going on in the chat as well. So come hang with the gang. Join up and watch what we do. Otherwise, like if you just listen on the podcast, that's great. That's how we started. That's what we normally do. And you can help by telling people to check us out on SoundCloud, Google Play, all the other podcasting platforms that exist. So we're there. Even Spotify. Somebody that has Spotify and no podcasting app, you can say, hey, Street Fight Radio. They're on Spotify. Look them up.
You know who's not on Spotify? Tom Likas.
Oh, no.
Just gonna let you know that, okay?
I
came with Tom Likas. So I'm saying at the top of the show here, Shocktober was supposed to be Imus this week, but I fucked up, and it's going to be Bubba and or it was supposed to be Imus. It's going to be Bubba and Likas this week. Both of the boys, and Brett was. I saw like visible happiness in his eyes when I said, "Hey, I got some Tom Likas news for you."
Yeah, you were quick. You said, "Hey, I got friend of Tom account.
PremiumTom.com.
There you go. PremiumTom.com coming out of the Street Fight account." And I was like, okay, that's fine. And then within 14 minutes, you already had screen capped a clip to have me listen to. And it was a good one.
Dude, he is, I mean, he's really on it. He started charging $19 a month for commercial free Likas program.
Okay.
Right? So it's $19 a month. He does about 28 minutes a day, maybe sometimes not at
That's
all.
That's all? 28 minutes?
Yeah, but most of them are 28, 30, 35 minutes.
How long was the old show?
3 hours?
Okay.
He was on the radio, man. He did his time. That's the way it should be, right?
Yeah, I think that does make sense. I think that's a good. I would like to. Actually, that makes sense now that he says. I want to go that route too.
Yeah, we're trying to get down to 28 minutes, I think.
Okay, just cut all the filler, get rid of all the breathing, no ums or ahs. We're just gonna do 28 pure minutes of jokes.
New campaign I'm on, Brett. You just mentioned a new campaign that I'm on.
What campaign?
6-song albums.
Okay.
That's the new campaign. It gets rid of all the filler.
Do your best 6.
You don't have to do filler anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
Like back in the day, you had to do filler. And you know what? As a person who's done shit for entertainment, I'm not even saying filler as a bad thing. I'm saying like, look, these fucking record guys want 12 songs out of us. We got 6. So, you know, we'll just put 12. I mean, they want 12. We got 6. You don't have to fucking worry about that anymore. You can just do 6. We're streaming everything. I don't think, and I would love to hear from some of the younger listeners. I don't think young people even know listen to albums at all. I don't think they care at all.
I don't know for sure, but I suspect you're right. I think it's probably just one song at a time. I mean, which is how most of, most of my listening, not all of mine really, but, you know, there was a lot of my listening that was basically just go to the store, buy a CD single. You would pay $4 for one CD with one song on it, and maybe the instrumental on it as well for the second track.
Yeah. We were talking earlier today about how you would pretend you liked the filler.
Yes.
That is true.
You had to justify it because you spent $17 on this CD, and what are you going to do? Admit you're foolish or that was a bad purchase?
Nothing was worse than a bad purchase. Nothing in this world was worse than a bad album purchase. I made some, okay?
Yeah, it's inevitable. But
there's this band called Therapy, ?
Okay.
And was not my kind of thing.
But
I'm not saying they're bad, but the name was like Therapy? What's this all about? And it was in a lot of the metal magazines. There's probably people who listen to metal that love them. But it was not for me. And that was a bummer. I also bought the album One Hot Minute by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Because I'd been fucking reading the music magazines and they get in your head.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then I bought it and I got it home and I listened to it and I was like, I don't like this at all. It was just not my kind of thing when I was 17, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I listen to more singles more than anything. I try to stick to albums. That's really what I enjoy, but I also am just whatever I want to hear, I want to hear. I'm just like living moment to moment.
Well, Gwen, I would say that Gwen's probably top 10 favorite songs. I would guess that 7 of them are by a band that she's never heard another song of. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or a rapper that she's never heard another. I mean, rappers just roll in for the summer, and then the next summer you're like, what happened to First Let Me Hop Out My Motherfucking Porsche?
Oh, yeah.
And then it's like,
nope.
She's just now.
No one's getting tipsy in the club anymore.
Sorry, buddy.
Well, they get to come back. I mean, you just have to ride out the storm. You can get a replay value, I think, 10 or 15 years later. You just got to go away.
10 or 15.
You try to stay around.
Like a Who Let the Dogs Out tour. You could do like a whole tour on it. No, but I'm saying, yeah, you can do a whole tour on it, though. 10, 15 years, Montel Jordan was just like, oh, you know, who cares if none of the other stuff hit? Because you got to imagine when none of the other stuff is hit, and that's not fun.
It's better than any other job.
It's true. It's true. I guess it's the day you go back to your real job that's...
Yep, that's the worst day of being a musician. Is when you go back to being a butcher.
Yeah. I don't think like Montel Jordan had to get like he probably did like PR. Or something.
He played the West Side Drive-In.
Montel Jordan
recently
during a pandemic.
Yeah, they're doing they do drive-in concerts over there.
I know. It's cool though, man. I love that Montel Jordan song. Who doesn't like that song?
Yeah, I mean, singles are what, you know, makes the world go round.
Yeah, but I like albums. I like when an album comes out to listen to all 12 songs, which I think if you told my daughter that an album comes out and I listen to all 10, 12 songs, she'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Dad? Yeah. Like, there's just no fucking way.
Well, it's like, I need a 48 minutes to sit down and give that thing a good listen. It's like, what?
Yeah.
I need to sit on the end of a chair with my Fist under my chin.
Yeah, she's really gone to like
She's
sad boy, the British
The
sad
old
boy
sad boys?
music. Yeah, she likes
No new sad boys?
She likes some new stuff, but
Okay.
they don't really do the Cure anymore.
Yeah, The Cure is a
and they
one-time
don't
thing.
like do the Smiths anymore.
one-time thing.
And she's just sort of like getting into that kind of stuff, and I'm like, you love those and she listens to some Joy Division, so it's like. I think British sad boys are just
Yeah.
like what gets in her feelings,
Right.
makes her feel good.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
She feels like a young, sad British lad.
Yeah. I think she likes hearing sad boys.
Yeah.
I don't think she thinks boys are sad very often.
Okay.
You
that
know what I'm
makes sense.
saying? Like,
That's true.
yeah. The kids, you know, I don't think she thinks the kids.
That's interesting.
I don't think a lot of people think boys get sad or men get sad.
Yeah, we're told not to. We're forced not to. People usually get weirded out whenever a man gets sad.
Yeah. I mean, she sees me sad, and I've told her I'm sad.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think that's the same as like
But kids in her school.
assholes that you see that are just cocky and never once question anything they do. They cause problems all day long, have no idea that that they did it, and they live a life of just like male privilege.
Yeah. But the sad boys.
But then they go home and they punch the wall because they're like, I wish it wasn't like this.
Yeah. Well, the sad boy thing, I think, is also just like Gwen is sad sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, but like in the same way I am. Like, I just see a lot of me in her.
Yeah.
You know?
That's too much sadness, though, I think.
I know. That's what she's working on. She's in therapy and stuff too. But I think that like when you listen to that music, it makes you feel less alone when you feel sad. You know, whenever I feel super sad, I listen to No Surprises by Radiohead. Have you ever listened to that song when you're sad?
No.
It's a maniac thing to do because it is like the saddest song in the world. This is the fucking goddamn chorus is no alarms and no surprises. And you're just like, this guy's like, no alarms and no surprises.
Oh shoot, mine is Darkest Hour, Convalescence, and it's nothing cures me, nothing thrills me. That's what he says over and over. And nothing cures me and nothing thrills me. It's like he's screaming, yeah, and he's mad. I get mad. I scream when I'm mad. I don't cry.
Me and you were both sad about the same shit, though, dude. That was weird as shit because our sad songs are both about boringness.
Yes.
Just being bored. And you're like, I don't want to ever be bored.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, and that there's nothing, you just feel like nothing will be exciting ever again, or that you've seen it all. There's, you imagine like going on a hike and you're like, I've already seen the trees though.
There's this song by Jonah Matranga that is called, it was in a band he was in called New End Original. And it was called Lukewarm. And a few times in the song, he's like, I never want to say my best days are behind me. I never want to be lukewarm again. And that is, I've carried that with me my whole fucking life. It like that song, that lyric described how I feel about life. Like, I never want to be like, nah, dude, I was better when I was 20. You know, I'm going to be always better. Like every year,
right?
Better. Then what'll happen if I do that? One day I'll feel good about myself, and I will never have a flag that's Trump that looks like Rambo on my front
Smart
porch.
move. That's the best way to. That's the best way to do it.
That's how you guard against becoming one of those weird, like, really invested in a guy like Donald Trump guys. You know?
Absolutely.
All right. Do we want to take calls?
Sure, we can take calls. We got some calls in here.
We got some calls?
Yeah, it's call night. Street Fight call night.
Let's take some fucking calls, dude. Me and Brett want squibs.
Yeah, squibs is a great idea.
We're involved in cameos and squibs right now. That's all we're thinking about.
I need a serious person that has done a budget horror movie and can at least give me an idea of if we could do it for any reasonable amount of money.
Like, if you could get us so that, like, it looks like
were being blown to bits by with squibs, we would like to do that. This is not for business. This is for pleasure.
No, it's business. We have to write it off, dude. We're just gonna film this just to do it. Just 'cause then we can charge it to the business.
That's true. We're gonna film it for business. We're gonna put it online, but it's only really the only reason I'm doing it is because I want to have squibs go off on my body.
Yeah, I want to shoot Brian to death.
Brett is a horror movie guy, though, and something I know about you from before me and you hung out is that you were into kind of the effects, right? Like there was a period of your life where you because you were just saying, I know some real horror nerds that would go to the horror conventions and they would know the first blood pack from something, and I'm like, only a motherfucker that goes to horror conventions would know what you just said.
Yeah.
Like which makes you also a nerd that was into it. But you, I mean, I'm sure they have too. But you've grown up and had a kid. And
yeah, I still appreciate it. I don't have as much. I don't do a fandom of anything anymore. You know?
I know.
I think I am in watching horror movies one every single day, and I love it. But I do like practical effects, and my mom was really good at like painting our faces and doing really creative stuff with makeup. So she was like, when we were vampires, she got us caps to put on our teeth with like denture cream so that we didn't have plastic teeth like with drool coming out of our mouth.
I want to do that too. I want to be a Dracula.
Oh, you can get Dracula teeth easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
What am I we're going to become low budget horror movie directors.
Okay.
We're going to get really into the squibs, and then we're going to be like, what if we could fucking hold a heart in our hand?
yeah. We can make it like we're holding a heart or squeezing it. Well, we got to do wrestling too. It'll have to be a combination with the wrestling too.
And action. We'll break bones. I want to break your arm, and then you break my arm. Maybe like a little thing where I break your arm, then you break my arm, then I break your other arm, then you break my other arm, and we just kind of stand goofily going,
we're just just lying on the ground next to each other, yelling at each other.
And it looks like we'll wave our arms around like one of those fucking things outside of a car dealership. Yeah. You know? Just for a visual representation.
Broken ass arms just swinging
Buddy,
from bone.
I'll tell you what, when Steven Seagal would break a arm, I would really feel that.
Yeah.
Like I would really feel like I was having my own arm broken, and like not the pain, the thoughts.
You can imagine it.
Yes.
You just imagine like, oh no, that's what it sounds like before you go.
Yeah.
Lights out, and then just.
When they break a leg in anything, it whips my ass. When Danny LaRusso got his leg broke, I was fucked up for the whole rest of that movie. And wrestling, when I've heard somebody broke their leg, I won't watch. I'm like, I don't want anything to do with that. No, I can't see it. I broke my wrist, and it was the smallest, tiniest break. I'm talking, it was one little tiny piece in my wrist that moved to the side, and it hurt like fucking hell. And when you see a compound leg fracture, like, I'm just like, I don't even know how you live through that kind of pain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there is a video that I love, that kid that breaks his leg and then holds it up and shakes it at his friend. Have you seen that? He's like skateboarding and he fully breaks his leg and he's like, and he just holds up his thigh and it's just he's like jiggling the leg like it's fucking hanging off.
No.
Yeah, he's like,
I will never watch that.
It's a top video for me.
I will never. I cannot see. That's how you get into the horror. That's how you can watch the horror movies. Like also, because if you can watch the real shit, the fake shit isn't gonna bother you. But if the fake shit bothers me,
no, the fake shit bothers me too.
Oh, okay.
I kind of both in my mind. I do the same thing. I empathize the pain. Like I just watched that movie Green Room, and you got to watch that. It'll scare the shit out of you. It's this band gets booked at this
I know what it's
Nazi
about.
show to make some money on their tour, and they witness some shit, and they're stuck in the green room, and it builds tension so well because it's 30 some minutes of just like, we're not coming out of the room. They're like, please come out of the room, you know, and then finally the door opens and there's the first like scuffle happens, and this kid's arm just gets sliced all the way open, like his like arm is almost falling off, and it just goes from zero to from there. It's like he duct tapes the arm back together, and then like they are full force fighting and die. It gets outrageous from there.
Maybe,
but seeing the arm like ripped open is just like, I bet that stings. Like, ugh, that would just sting. The air, yeah, it would sting
that
a little bit.
whole stingy feeling. I do not enjoy. Yeah. I'm not like I like the new style of action movie that people get shot and there's no blood and they just kind of are gone.
Yeah, that's true. It's like if someone clicking the remote, like bye, bad guy, gone.
Yeah.
There's no blood. They just disappear. You know what? The old action movies too. They always made you think that like your neck was so fucking fragile.
Yes.
Like that if somebody just came up behind you and just did like the back and forth, like your shit would. You really felt like someone, get off my back, man, get away from my back. Like if someone could just make your head turn around with like a strong breeze.
I worked with a guy. Okay, so I went to high school with this guy, and he was like, so he told us he was a karate master guy, and we all believed him, and we never saw him do the karate. Like, he never came into school and was like ever even did like a kick or anything. He'd be like, oh, I'm not supposed to do it, you know?
Okay.
And then he said he tried out to be one of the Power Rangers, the Green Power Ranger, and it was between him and the Green Power Ranger guy. And he was like, I got to go to school, you know, maybe it's better if he takes it. And then
Jason David Frank, that was a legendary martial artist that he was going up against there.
Yeah, that's what he said, though. And
is that his name? It's Jason David Frank.
And he fucking used to sneak up at me at work because we were so enraptured by him at school, me and my dudes. I don't know why. It just seemed like, what a fucking guy, you know? I don't know how to do shit. This fucking guy knows karate. And he would sneak up on us and just put his hands like in a way around your head, so it seemed like he was gonna like one of the like you
were about to
like he was gonna break your neck, and he'd be like, "I could have broke your neck there, huh?"
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, "You'll never fucking do that again." And then he would like do it again, and I shouldn't have let him do it again.
He made you put another strike on your neck broke card. That's how many times he caught you.
Yeah,
that's no lacking. That's just like the no lacking challenge. Like,
I know.
You ever seen those videos where guys walk up to their friends with guns, and if they don't have their gun on them, they get caught lacking?
Oh no, I've never seen that.
It's panic inducing.
Yeah, I believe
just
it.
Like they're at a basketball game and he pulls a gun out, and then a guy pulls a gun out. He's like, no, nope, I'm ready to go.
Yeah. No, this kid, I mean, he had everybody convinced. I remember he told me he got his black belt by meditating for 90 hours straight.
I mean, kids get away with a lot of stuff. That's true.
I never thought that he didn't know karate until this minute, though. Like, he was always just a guy that knew karate to me.
Just convinced you.
Yeah.
Smart. That's mental karate.
And nobody fought him in school. Nobody would fight him. Like, even the strongest, toughest kids. And I think that's why he was, like, in my group. Because it was like, well, if Mike's around.
Like, we all fight. We've all fought each other. We know the rankings, but he's a karate master. So.
Yeah.
He studied outside of our dojo that we have here.
Jason's very strong. He can beat people up. We had guys running around that were quick. We had me who couldn't do anything except for run my mouth. And then there's every now and then when I was in high school, there was a karate master that hung. This was more when I was like 18, which is, that makes me sound gullible when I was 18.
Yeah, it's a little too old to believe in
This was after I got out of high school and stuff. I was hanging out with this guy.
All right.
Just karate master, just hanging out in Groveport, Ohio. Could have been the Green Power Ranger.
That close.
He said that he told us that he turned it down because he wanted to finish school and he didn't want to like switch schools or
Where'd he end up?
You want to know what he does now?
Yes.
Car salesman.
Okay.
I mean,
that sounds right. He found his place. He can make you believe this is a great deal on a Honda Civic or whatever it is. He can make you a deal. He can make you believe it's a great deal.
Yeah. He just right before I like a couple months before I deleted Facebook, he friended me, and I was like, oh man, I'd love to talk to Mike again. And he was just posting different cars at the car lot that he worked at for sale, and I was just like, ain't no worse friend request. There's no worse friend thing than car salesmen. They're like the number one worst friends on Facebook because they always just share. They don't explain anything. They just come on and they got a car and they're like, today is a very great day here at Honda.
Yeah.
Honda, at Steve's Honda, and we got this car for $29,000. We got this for $18,000, and hey, we're taking $2,000 on trades and shit like that. That's
write that.
all they post, dude.
Yeah.
I hated them after that for being a car salesman that doesn't post good. A guy with that kind of lying talent.
You're right.
He should be fucking in show business, man. That's the type of guy that should be in fucking show business. He shouldn't have to sell cars because he is a fucking genius at lying. Yeah. I could harness that for sure. If I had a guy that lied like that, could make people believe stuff, I think I could figure out how to harness those lies.
Okay. Sounds great.
Now it's weird. I don't think I ever knew a martial artist in my life.
It's a long conversation.
And he said karate. That was the other thing, is like, since then, I never heard somebody say karate, but he was like, I do karate and ninjutsu were the two things that he said he did.
Yeah, those are just like Americanized slang words for the most part.
Is ninjutsu like a thing that you can train in America?
I know most of the places that are on like those schools in a strip mall are mostly just teaching Taekwondo.
Okay. This is really depressing to me to think about now. Like, I'm having a weird existential crisis that, like, I believed that all those fucking years until now.
Yeah, I mean, people are full of shit. Everyone you've ever met, actually.
I know.
Full of shit.
I know.
Just so you don't get too blown away, anything you've ever been told was a lie from someone trying to put their best foot forward.
I know. Well, even just as we were talking tonight, as I was talking about this kid, that's when I was like, that motherfucker was full of shit. Mm-hmm. Like, he was lying all the time to me. But, here's the thing, to bring it to a close here, he did sneak up on me several times and say he could have snapped my neck. So, that's pretty good no matter what you do.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little grim. I mean, getting full Nelsons on guys when they are not paying attention is, that's just fun.
Yeah,
but he shouldn't have threatened your life.
But he could.
I know.
He knew he couldn't do anything.
I know.
And I thought he could have,
Yeah, we get it.
But I've actually also seen people do that to each other.
Break each other's necks for fun?
They didn't break their necks, but they did the move.
Oh, yeah, that's fun.
In high school, they would do the move, and, like, it hurts like hell. I think I've had it done to me. It hurts like hell, but your neck doesn't break.
But never the guy... So there was a neck breaker that never tried to neck break, or then other neck breakers that would...
Well, those weren't neck breakers. They were fighting or like jacking around as kids or like pretending to wrestle and stuff, and just would get a little too fucking out of this world about it,
Yes.
And karate guys are always like, I can't do karate on you, dude.
That is true. You're not allowed. You have to take that code that like it's a self-defense thing.
Because I really wanted to. I would have fucking signed up to fight the guy. I think back then.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah.
But,
well, maybe we get a time machine and go back and find out.
I wish I could go back, man.
Yeah, you're sounding like the song now.
That's true.
Thanks for calling Street Fighter. Who are we talking to tonight?
Oh, shit. You guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, all right. So, I've been hearing you guys talk about martial arts, and I also wanted to... Okay, so I'm a fairly well-trained MMA dude, but what I really wanted to talk about, though, I officiated my first wedding this past weekend.
Everybody got married this weekend.
There's a lot of marriages this weekend. How was it?
Yeah, dude.
I've officiated one, and I can't. They wouldn't really let me get too heavy into it. They were just like, we're married. They weren't like romantics.
Yeah. Right. So like the couple that I married, they were like they are super romantic folks. Like the groom, I've known him since I was like fucking like I'm 28 now. I've known him since I was like 13 years old. All right. This was a fucking beautiful ceremony. All right. So like this was all outdoors. This was down in Dayton, and like as the bride walks down the aisle, like my dude, he's playing a Bright Eyes song. He's playing The First Day of My Life.
Sad song.
Bright Eyes.
I think that's a sad. Is that a sad song?
No, it's a beautiful romantic song.
Yeah. Okay.
And
okay.
I saw his fingers shaking on the fretboard the whole time. It was fucking wonderful,
Yeah. Yeah. I've never heard Bright Eyes in my life.
Brian, you might want to change that. The fucking album. All right, let me pull this up real quick. I'm wide awake. It's morning. That's the Bright Eyes album to listen to.
He doesn't rock though, does he? He kind of is like not. He doesn't get crazy, right?
No, he doesn't get crazy. It's like sort of like country folksy, sort of like just like down.
Okay, I'll check it out. I like down now.
Yeah, I love down now stuff.
Yeah,
a lot.
So what was?
If you never.
Go ahead.
Sorry,
no,
go ahead.
you go.
No,
It's fine.
You go ahead.
No, I was gonna say what was the So was the experience doing the wedding good? Would you recommend other people do weddings?
Dude, this was my first time doing a wedding, and I 100% say if you are not a reverend of the Universal Life Church, you should become one, because being able to do a wedding, it's an absolutely beautiful experience, and I highly suggest anybody listening be able to do that.
Have you done one?
I have done a wedding.
Are you a reverend?
No, I did it in a free state of Texas where you don't have to get any sort of registrations or anything.
I'm a
Anybody
reverend.
can marry anybody, in Texas.
I got a reverend thing here.
You printed out the collar and shit?
No,
yeah.
I printed a piece. I didn't even have to print the piece of paper. It's really funny. You go spend like $15 and you don't get like really anything.
So basically, what the reverend industry is kind of, it's kind of like a MLM thing. Where you go and you can sign up and you register for free, and what they do is they say, if you buy our starter pack for $40, we'll give you enough documents to do 2 weddings. You spend $100, that's enough to do 6 weddings. You can charge $50 to $100 per wedding.
Oh,
that's $600
man.
motherfucking dollars in your pocket. Register on these websites to look for people that need to get married. You can ask your friends, let people know.
You should do that.
Business cards, like
Brett should
trying to
do-
make
Yeah,
it
dude.
like a little industry out of it.
Maybe I should do that. I would do that.
Fuck that. Become a member of the Satanic Temple. Be able to infuse satanic energy into your Universal Life Church ceremony.
Yeah.
Boom. There you go. You create a lasting bond.
Yeah, I agree. I think the amount of money that you could make doing weddings, and then if you were like, I'm the satanic marriage guy in Columbus, Ohio, because there's probably not
you got to get an outfit together.
Right. I'll go buy a fucking red jumpsuit. I'll buy like a red tracksuit.
Oh, okay.
And a pair of glasses with red lenses, and I'll fucking, I'll show up and I'll do a little bit of razzle dazzle.
Like, are you the devil in this, or
no? I would just be one of his reverends.
Has the power of Satan.
I'd be one of his reverends.
You're the fucking priest.
The relaxed satanic priest.
Yeah, and I would just kind of get in there and be like, hey, it's cool that you guys are getting married. Hope you like that.
It's till death does you part. You know that.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And then maybe a blood packet in my mouth.
Squib.
Yeah, maybe you get 3 squibs with my wedding ceremony. And if you charge $200 to be the officiant of that wedding, and it only costs $40 to get the license, I could do.
If you could
45
set
of
the
those.
couple up so that when you're done and they turn around, blood is flowing from their eyes, and it would like really freak out the crowd. That would be fun.
Oh my god!
Yeah, 2 things. My official wedding officiant offer is $100 plus a plate at the reception. Also, I had an idea yesterday for a martial arts movie, or possibly future scenario.
Okay.
Of the fucking MMA Reverend,
Yeah,
he's got to like fucking fight his way across the city. This would be a martial arts movie. He's got to fight his way across the city to reach the wedding he is supposed to officiate at.
Yeah, shoot it on TikTok, man. You got something there.
I think we should make a movie.
Absolutely.
I think we should make a martial arts movie for sure. But
Okay.
not all my ideas get through.
It's true. Well, thanks for calling in. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. See y'all soon.
It'd be so funny if that was my big complaint all the time. Well, I want to make a martial arts movie, and Brett is always telling me no.
Yeah.
We're in here like, what are we gonna fucking do next? And it's like, maybe we could do a podcast about this. And then I'm like, maybe we could fucking make a martial arts movie. Like, just ratchet it up so high.
Yeah. Let's do a wrestling promotion instead.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, it would be great.
There was a time where it was like, what's it got to cost $10,000 to put on a wrestling show?
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, who would know? Like I said,
Too much.
Yeah, it's way too much money, but it would also be like, I am so confrontation averse. I'm so like afraid of confrontation and don't like it that like the wrestlers would just run all over me.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I wouldn't do it. It was like, the money is a reason, but I'm saying like we could probably do a fucking GoFundMe or an Indiegogo for that money, and I'll bet you we could probably get it. The problem is I don't want to be like standing across from wrestlers getting like, because they're like, oh, a little bit more money, brother.
Yeah, always. Oh, that real hurt. That looked good out there. I need a little more money, brother.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a few more bucks, brother. And it's just like I'd be like,
all right,
okay,
all right. Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Oh, hey.
How's it going?
Hello.
Yeah, who are we talking to?
Oh, pretty good. How are y'all?
Hi, I'm doing
Avery
pretty
in
okay.
Chicago.
Oh, what's up, Avery?
Oh, not much. Just just listening to the radio. I got a thing to call about. I got to ask for letters of recommendation from former bosses, and I just don't know how to fucking do it.
How many?
Well, I'm gonna need 3. It's been 6 years since I was in college, and I want to go get a master's in social work, right? And so, now I have to go talk to a bunch of people who probably didn't care that much about me, forgot about me, and really I've done nothing to keep them in my life.
There's most likely they won't remember you.
Yeah, well, that is a horrible fucking assignment. You know what I mean? I think something I think about a lot is that like every time a Spectrum truck drives by, I look to see if I know the guy driving it. So there is like a thing where people do keep you in their mind forever. I never know the guy. Driving.
Yeah.
Because they just go by and it was probably somebody I didn't work with. But like I still think about some of the people I worked with there. I'm sure there are people I don't remember that worked kind of adjacent to me that I don't remember, but like I still remember a lot of the guys I worked with back then at the cable company.
Yeah, one of my favorite things Felix ever wrote in the zine was about having a job where he was a bouncer and someone bit him and he got like this infection and took time off.
for it, and then eventually
damn.
was just like, you know what, I'm not coming back to the job. And about 6 months later, he goes to pick up his paycheck, and he realizes that he recognizes nobody is there anymore. Like, it's the staff turnover is so high that he thought he was going to go back and was like, Felix, you got bit. God damn it, how you been?
Yeah.
And everybody was brand new. Like, there's just those bar establishments, those restaurants, some of them just go through people so quick.
How the fuck do you hunt? How do you eat? So I'm gotta go all the way through this.
Yeah.
What is your plan of action here?
Yeah, what
I think what I want
to get to, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So, I've been a bartender for 6 years, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
God.
Everybody's gone, even the managers.
Yes.
Because the managers were probably, they either got booted because they're alcoholics, or they stole money, or they just found a better job. It's all of that stuff. The restaurant closes.
Yep.
Some of my managers don't even do it anymore,
Jesus, that is true. I don't know how you're supposed. For me to consider that is like, how the fuck would I ever? That's like asking me to go find. I mean, it's more recent, right? But it's like asking me to go find the guys I worked or some of the guys I worked with at the call center, which was in 2000 and 2000 to 2002. It's like I would fucking have to be doing private. I'd have to hire a motherfucking private eye to find those people.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I think I still got their phone numbers, so I'm gonna text a couple of them and just be like, "Hey, I want to be a social worker. I really do. You dawdle with like the pleasantries when you're talking to people that you don't care about the pleasantries."
I know. I don't know how you even. I get what that's tough. I think you do though. I think you have to be like, "Hey, buddy, what's up?" But the thing is,
yeah, they're giving something. If they're going to give something to you, you got to listen to all of their medical history. You got to listen to like what's happened since you. No, you got to go through some pain for this for sure.
I think you do. I think that like. Some of them you'll be able to get a read. I think you'll be able to get a read on a few of them and say like, this person knows that I'm just coming to them for something and we'll be fine because I'm a guy that like, if you just told me what you wanted, right away, I'd be like, I will get. As a matter of fact, I will write one for you and say you worked for us anytime. But like,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I would probably make them up. Because it's this impossible thing where it's not related to actual work. So they're not going to access the records and figure out what years anybody was employed. They're literally just looking for you to find 3 people that believe that you have it together enough to do this thing. I have done more than one fake manager thing for a friend. And, the fake, all they have to do is go, oh, yeah, I do remember them. And then you just say, whenever I needed them, they were there. You just say platitudes, and it's a really stupid thing that I don't know. The job interview stuff I did was so mundane because you can't add anything. You can't say like this person is a genius. This person came in and changed everything. You pretty much just have to reassure them that like, yeah, this person has a sense of urgency. This person
didn't kill anyone.
Got all their tasks done. If I gave them a bucket and a mop, they did the floor. They knew what to do with it, and we didn't have to check up on them. They're literally just looking for any amount of people to say that about you. And I have to say that, your old bartender boss from 5 years ago may not be as good of a reference than someone that's willing to stick their neck out on the line, someone that's willing to like put their word on the line to say, this person is good enough, like
it's
no one's gonna lie for you. No one's gonna lie for you if they have to, if they put their name on the line. I don't think
it's bosses specifically, or could it be like ex-employee, like buddies that you worked? I call buddies that you worked with.
They did say specifically former managers or professors.
Oh, you don't have professors?
Yeah. I don't know. 6 years out of school.
I don't know either. You are in a real fucking situation. This is a real.
Other people do it.
I know that, but what you're telling me now is like a real scary situation. Because I don't know if I couldn't do any of this stuff. And like listening to you, it seems like you're kind of in the same boat where you're just like, who the fuck? The only person I could do is be like, well, I worked with this guy, Brett. and so I don't really know. I don't know. This is a nightmare scenario for me.
Do you have a current manager?
Well, no, I've been laid off for the last,
okay.
How long's quarantine?
Sure.
7 months.
March. Yeah, you're
They're not bringing me back. I was the last place was high volume bartending. Turned out like 400 drinks.
Jesus.
Right? Oh man, you do. I know exactly where you worked.
Like an hour.
Yeah.
And you. So I'm just yelling all the time, and I don't get angry at people. So I'm just shit talking the business, and the managers are always walking by, hearing me talk about how much the restaurant fucking sucks. So, not the best place to grab it from.
Yeah.
But really, what I need was really just some loosen up. So thank you guys for that.
Yeah,
I'm sure we can't really go anywhere from here. But
I don't know what to do. You just let us know if you need a street fight recommendation.
Yes, I was going to say.
We've done it before. I think you've done it, right?
Oh, yeah, I have done it. Yeah.
You've done it. Brett's done it for people in the audience. So,
damn, thank you. Yeah, no, I mean, if I can't pull anything out, I'll definitely look to that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Although, I also really wanted to plug my friend.
Okay,
if that's possible.
Yeah,
all right.
Plug him.
He's having like he's doing something right now that is hard, and no one should have to go through it in their 20s. And so I want him to get some views on his YouTube. He's been working for like 3 years doing video game reviews for people that are like busy and don't have a lot of time to spend on video games.
Okay,
it's called First 5 Reviews. He plays a game for 5 hours, tells you if it's worth the time, keeps the reviews short, really thoughtful guy, like really good at what he does. And I just want, if anyone plays that kind of game, wants that kind of niche, First 5 Reviews, YouTube, just Google it, you'll find it. He's great.
Cool.
You're a fucking great person too.
You're like the best person. I mean, this is a great call, and then you're being nice to a friend. You call us back any time. We love you. And I want to hear how this plays out, because I'm serious when I say that's a nightmare scenario for me, for them to say you need to go back and get 3 old bosses where like I would have to lie. Like there's really no bosses that would stick their neck out for me anyway. Like if I could get a hold of them,
I'm an ass. So yeah.
I mean, also that's the other one too. Like for me, when I was that kind of way, I was shitty to all kind. I terrorized plenty of bosses in my early days, and I needed references to get better jobs. I would always have a friend that I work with just say, just some little lie, like I was shift manager, or I was the one in charge of, so I was in charge of day-to-day duties, or just have them come up with a quick way to say like, I was the one in charge. And then it's easier for them to just make up stuff that, makes sense for the job. To say like, a dish tank, we always ran out of dish tank and he jumped in to help, or whatever it may
I did
be.
that once, and I don't think I was the best. My buddy did we were co-workers. It was references. It wasn't bosses, and I was his reference. And we all like kind of, me and my buddies all didn't believe they called the references just forever. It was just one of those things like them motherfuckers never call anyway.
Here's what I have to say: the first time I did a fake reference, I almost stuttered because I felt like I was going to jail. I felt like I was doing something illegal and I was going to get arrested. And I don't think anybody cares. It's a formality for most things. But yeah, I mean, you got to find somebody that knows how that sounds believable. You don't want somebody that's just going to like be blowing out bong smoke and then answering the phone.
I mean, my thing was like I just kept saying like, well, he always worked very hard, and then they were like, oh really? I was like, he came in on time, and I don't remember him calling off that much either, you know? And that was like my whole thing was like, hey, he made my life easier because he did all of his work. You know, he was.
See, that's the worst thing about applying for the grad school thing, social work, is that they want to call references to like get an idea of, you know, what kind of person you are.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, I don't know, do the bosses even know what kind of person I am?
Yeah, no, they have no fucking idea who you are as a person.
I think as long as they can get flesh and blood people on the phone that are willing to talk about you, I think is what they're looking for. You know, I don't know. It's a very weird situation, but
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just, all right. Well, have a good night. That was great.
Thank you. You guys too.
Yeah.
Again, first 5 reviews on YouTube, Friends Gaming Channel, fucking great.
Peace.
Y'all have a good night.
Thank you.
We just subscribed.
So that's odd. Do you think you could pull that off without faking?
Pull off what?
3 boss recommendations.
3 boss recommendations. I have one. I do have a guy, the donut guy, good buddies. I think if I called him, he knows who I am. I think he's one I've got immediately.
Okay.
The other ones, I made a name for myself when I left most of those places. I don't know. Most people, I wanted to make sure they would remember me, and that doesn't mean that I'm arrogant enough to think that they all did. But I do have to say, I don't know if I have a lot of good references.
I don't either.
Because it's like, what they would say is like, Brett is amazing, it was great until the end. Then it was like mean and cruel and spiteful and just blew up in flames really fast.
Yeah, I kind of, I think about like the diner job.
Oh, I got Susie. I have one. Okay, my manager at insurance agent, still friends with her on Facebook. She is a dog mom, and I like all of her stuff. And she still replies to me sometimes about like political posts and stuff that I make.
Yeah, dude, you got 2.
The 3 would be Lauren.
Me. Oh, okay.
My friend, because she's a liar. She's like likes to lie in the same sick way that I like to lie.
Yeah, that's fucking incredible, man.
But Brian don't need anybody to say, "Oh, he works real hard." I don't need anybody.
You don't need anybody that says he works real hard.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know if I do.
But that's what they want. You know what I mean? He
Yeah.
works real hard, man.
Just beads of sweat.
Yeah,
flying off his brow.
That's all I thought they wanted, though, because like the whole rap against that dude was that he didn't work really hard at the company. That's why he didn't have the boss do it. Having
done it for real, having done it for fake, and having other people do it for real and for fake, I think that it all comes down to, and especially if you're the one calling for references, people are so scared to talk to strangers. Like, we act so big and bad with our closest 10 people. But when we are out in public, everybody is so quiet as a mouse. People are not trying to cause confrontations. No one's going to be like, you're fucking lying right now. You didn't work at Shooter's Cafe with him.
I mean, when somebody does do that, it's what we say. It's what I say about doing comedy, right? It's like, I know a lot of people want to try it, and what they're worried about is the audience and bombing and shit like that. It's like audiences want you to succeed.
Right.
Because if you don't, then the night sucks.
Right. This person that's in charge of doing references, what they want more than anything is to call you on the phone. You're pleasant. You talk for less than 4 minutes. You say all the stuff they need to check off their sheet, and then you disappear.
Yeah, that's all they want.
They're not going to judge your performance. You know, they want to make sure, a live human being will stick their neck out for you and say, yes, this person is good enough to do what you want them to do.
Stick their neck out for you in something that there's no upside or downside for the person. Like, for the person doing the reference and the person calling for the reference, it's like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah, how do you bomb a reference?
Yeah,
I mean, and people like, people don't have the same flowery language that I do. So a lot of people aren't as descriptive or can't come up with things. And it's like a lot of references, if you call your correct reference, it's just going to be some quiet person that's like, they worked hard. Like you said, like you would be a good reference. They worked here from April to May for 1 year.
I don't know what you would say, and that's why I
You
don't.
just have to
You're
say
right.
that
I
you can-
wouldn't make a great one because I just think that I think in my mind, it's that I think that bosses don't care at all, and they just want somebody that's going to do the work. But that is not true. That is the cynical way that I look at work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
that's not the way a lot of people look at work. Like, I look at it in a way that all I can see is, all the stuff you read about it, all the kind of Marxist contradictions and stuff like that. Like, all I can really see is all that. I go into a job and I'm like, you're acting like you want me here, but you just want somebody to work. And like, as long as I work and I stay out of your face, which a lot of times is really all they want. They just don't want you, the bosses and shit just don't want you to end up in their office.
Yeah.
You can get a good reference
that's what they're saying.
if you just don't, like, it's just take up the least amount of space possible.
Right.
Is what it is.
Yeah, having a non-memorable is probably the best possible reference. Someone's like, "Oh yeah, he was here. I don't remember. He didn't cause me any problems, I guess."
Yeah,
He
threw salad dressing
Yeah,
at
they
the
don't wanna hear
owner
that.
when he left.
Yeah.
The last 3 jobs I had went real bad at the end.
Yeah, I mean, that was, you start growing up and you're like, I'm a man, damn it. I'm going to say something.
Well, the last 3, yeah. Well, you're right. You're right. When the boss was a prick about something, I was
You're like, you can't talk to me like that.
Yeah.
I have a fucking house.
But I let that guy talk about me.
Sure.
I let that guy. Would talk to you on the phone. It was 3 months.
Yeah.
And I would be like, this guy's so fucking mean. He yells at me. I don't know what to do. And I was having panic attacks about losing this job where I was making $9 an hour.
Yeah. All right. Next call. Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Oh, hey, I think that's me. One sec. I just took you off speaker. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up?
Cool. This is at Jewel Tones on Twitter. I accidentally text-walled Brian again. Ooh, it's been some bad mental health stuff going on, but I'm getting better, so that's all good.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
Yeah, I just I wanted to talk a little bit about like my recent experiences with like housing instability. I don't know if you'd call it like homelessness, but like I was doing some couch surfing in my the last month or two for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean,
Was that job
I
loss
gotta
thing,
be
or-
honest, like, no, not a job loss thing. Thankfully I got 2 pretty good paying jobs right now. I do pizza delivery. I also serve court papers, which, like,
Ooh.
that's like 3 steps below a cop. So
I don't know.
trying to get out of that business.
I don't know if I feel like serving papers is a cop. Like,
I never
you
got
can't
mad at the
arrest
person.
anybody.
The person serving the papers is doing a job. They're not upholding that fucking
Yeah.
law.
It also sounds fun.
Yeah, I mean,
as a job, it sounds fun because of Pineapple
it is very
Express.
fun.
Yeah.
It's great fun because, I just drive around, which I love driving, and I mainline theory podcasts into my veins the whole time. So, like, I'm allegedly getting smarter, maybe. But, yeah, with the housing thing, though, I do got to thank the Street Fight community, particularly, we'll call them A and J from the Street Fighters Facebook group. I actually met them through the Facebook group originally.
Cool.
We became great friends over the last year and a half or so, and they really, really pulled fucking through for me. Let me sleep on their couch a lot.
That's
and
amazing.
now I'm finally saved up. I got my name on a lease on a new spot. It's real good.
Wow.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's
that's
I
awesome.
always love to hear of people getting their. I always love to hear of people getting their apartment back. Like, that is like one of the most positive, I think, stories.
Yeah, and
that somebody can hear.
And I've not, when I was younger, I let somebody live on my couch for a few weeks, and I think that the popular refrain from everybody else was that I was a sucker, and that people thought I was going to take advantage of, and that this person was never going to leave, and that 1 month becomes 3 months, and all this stuff, and that was not the case. I mean, it just person needed a safe
I
place
think-
to be in to plan where the next month was going. I'm sorry, go ahead.
True.
No, you're all good. You're all good, Sam. I think there's like, I have similar stories where like I've helped out like other people who are like either homeless or housing unstable, and people call me a sucker. It's like, yeah, maybe. Like I'm willing to be a mark to have a clear conscience, and it like has turned out well for everyone involved. I actually, to talk more about like my specific situation, I'm around the Milwaukee area, and like very literally would not be alive if it wasn't for the people in Milwaukee DSA. And there are like people in and around the chapter who have done things like, you know, house someone for a few months or whatever. And they're like, that's your people. So like my advice, especially to any other like trans people out there trying to get away from their families, like hit up the left, start participating, and when you need it, they just might be there for you.
Yeah, that's a great message, actually. And people, I think that like people tend to think like with the couch surfing, the sucker thing.
Yeah.
Like that to me is like people who may have been fucked over earlier in their life, not even by a person who had to couch surf at their house, but there are a lot of people that when they're growing up have experiences with people that it paints everything for the rest of their life. And for the rest of their life, it's like anybody sleeping on your couch is a sucker. And really what they need is like somebody to just have a conversation with them about people's nature.
Yeah, tell them that you can trust people again, and they're not going to betray you every single time.
Yes.
It happens, but
yeah, 100%.
You're accepting. You know, you can accept either way it goes. You're going to live if they betray you or not. You know, like you're going to be able to make it through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people too. It's like they might have like when they were a kid have seen some family member sleeping on the couch and then been privy to like maybe their parents or something bitching about it. But, you know, parents are going to bitch about it and still give the couch as a place to stay. That's just kind of what family does. And I think people kind of underestimate, like, the love there.
And you're right. I mean, and you are right. Like, you want to be in a network of people like this. Like, the people that are calling into the show. Like, the ones that aren't, you know, are willing to help without, you know, assuming the worst in humanity.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I've not had a couch to sleep, like, offer people and, like, can't offer my bed for obviously, like, I'm sleeping in that and I ain't sleeping with you kind of deal.
Well, now, have you thought about maybe you sleep on the couch and then let them sleep in the bed?
But, like, one day.
Yeah, you will go out.
As soon as I'm able to pick up a couch. I scavenged this mirror a few weeks ago. Some dipshits were going to throw it out. So I gave it a quick little wash. You know, threw it in my car first, but gave it a quick little wash at the new place and then set it up. And now I got a free mirror. So, like,
I'll say this.
Maybe with the couch.
I'll say this, okay? I just bought my first couch this year at 41 years old. I never paid for a couch until this year. It was the first time. And let me tell you something. I bought an enormous couch. It's so huge.
Way too big for your house.
No, it's not. It's definitely not too big for my house.
It's half.
It takes up half the living room.
It's probably like 400 square feet.
It's so fucking comfortable. And you can, like, any way
it's a couch, it's a bed.
Yeah, well, any way that you sit, you can also lay down on that thing. And we didn't measure before we left, but I'm glad we didn't measure because I love the couch. Like, I'm so happy to have a huge couch, especially quarantine time. You know what I mean? I bought that right before quarantine. Can you imagine sitting on that old couch I had for just 3 people? The most uncomfortable couch ever fucking made? All through quarantine?
Yeah.
You can't lay down on it at all? There's a fucking couch you couldn't lay down on.
You gotta have something comfy.
Yeah, I had a couch you couldn't lay down on. It was horrible.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
You'll get one. It sounds like you're on. It sounds like you're on the mend here. It sounds like you went through some
things
stuff.
been going real well. I actually I'm in the Facebook group. It's Olivia L from the Facebook group. But I had the mods when I was like mid-panic mode, just like mute me for a while, which was a very good decision.
Yeah.
So shout out to them. I'm also, would you mind if I give some plugs before I jump off here?
Yeah, go for it.
So I had enough money sitting around to register an LLC for the state of Wisconsin.
Awesome.
Left Eye Investigations is what we're called. Gonna start routing to court papers through that, but also offering things like resume help, mutual learning or tutoring in like my broken Spanish dialect. I don't know if I actually speak that much Spanish, as well as like just job search, test prep, things like that. So you can find me at Jewel Tones on Twitter, JUUL _TONES, or Linktree/AL8065A.
Yeah, well, thanks for calling in. That sounds great. I remember. I don't know how old you are. I don't know if how old you said how old you are, but I remember.
23.
Yes. Okay. It's a tough time, and I remember. I remember at the time reviewing a friend of mine's resume that was like totally dog shit. Like they had no idea why they weren't getting jobs and stuff. And I looked at it and I was like, this is like garbage. This looks so bad. But sometimes friends aren't able to do that. And you really just need like an outside expert to say like, you got to improve the language here, or you got to change this or that, because it doesn't come easy. And there is kind of a rubric that they have for the information that they're looking for. They want you to say and sound like this certain candidate. So, and it takes a lot to figure out, if it's not.
Yeah, 100%. It's hard too. Like I got the benefit of getting to go like to a private school with this fancy degree I couldn't afford, but like might as well use that and like offer an affordable price. It's like $5 minimum for just like a reformat and light edits, and then, kind of sliding scale payment from there. But I'm trying to be like affordable about it. I don't want to become a small business tyrant in my 40s.
No, I want to say like having an LLC is great because you can, that Donald Trump $750 tax stuff, we're not applauding what he does, but having an LLC, we've been able to move money around. We've been able to make life a lot easier. And if you're going to try to make money off something like this, you want to be able to write off all of your expenses and stuff and get a return at the end of the year. So, just because you open an LLC or you go through that doesn't mean you intend to conquer the world. But it also allows you it lets you to get grants. It opens up a lot of money and opportunity and the chance to work with, other people.
Yeah, I'm also offering like connection to services too, like probably going to offer that for free, like referring people to the local tenants union and stuff.
Yeah.
Because like that information should be free.
Yeah. Do you talk to Kayla Wilson at all in the group?
She actually last year, around the time where I was also trying to get permanently out of my parents' place, she gave me some very good crowdfunding tips. But I haven't talked about her, or I haven't talked with her about this at all. But I should definitely hit her up now that you mention her.
Yeah, I would say check out. They're doing the Meta Mobile Boutique and have had a lot of stuff going on and kind of picked up, but doing a similar thing, job help for people that need it.
Cool. I'll 100% send her a message.
All right.
Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Thanks for calling.
All right, well, yeah, good talking to y'all. Take care.
Peace.
Oh, it's me.
One more.
We should probably do 10:45.
Oh yeah, we started late as hell.
We started at 9:15.
You're right. Sorry.
So,
Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight? Sorry.
Hey, this is Dave. Can you hear me?
Yeah. What's up, Dave?
Oh, I ran out of money.
Oh, did we?
It keeps doing that now.
Shit, man.
The autosave is off. They'll call back. I got it.
Hey, give us a second. We ran out of money. I don't know if it hung up on everybody or not.
I think it does.
I don't know. The last time we came back, we got like all the calls back.
Yeah, just stay in there.
We keep running out of fucking money.
I know. I keep.
Hey, can I tell you why you're getting the money in there? Little quick story.
My card changed is what happened.
I know. A bunch of my stuff. So because I use yours.
Oh, I can give you a new one.
Oh, it's fine. I don't need it right now anyway. So I have this thing called the overdraft.
Calling again, Jason.
You guys got to
no
call
host
it.
connection.
I lost it. Yeah, I have
There's calling the guy that, or no, I don't know who it was. Guy, gal, or non-binary pal that got dropped. I think I see your number.
Yeah, so let me tell you the story then while we're waiting for all this shit to happen. So I have this overdraft line of credit. Okay?
Thank you for...
Can you turn...
Did they hear that?
I can hear it.
Yeah, I can
hear
hear
it.
it.
They can hear it.
Some phone freaker is going to record the tones and get our password.
It doesn't have the same tones.
I know. Oh, good. Okay, so they can't hear it, Brian.
Oh, I can.
Take it out.
So, I want to tell a story that's only 2 minutes. I swear to
2
God.
secs.
I'll just get it done. Okay? I have this overdraft line of credit account.
Okay.
That, like, is basically just you spend all your money and then you have... It's a $2,000 loan is what it is.
Okay.
It's basically... But they frame it like... It's for overdraft protection.
Yeah.
So you have to make payments on it, and obviously I went all the way to the limit, of course, and now I pay it back a little bit every month, right? I usually use it at the end of the month. It's just I kind of use it. I think I pay like maybe $15 a month to have that money like hidden away, right?
Okay.
So I put money in it last week, and then Katie got paid. I was like, I'm going to put some more money in the overdraft line of credit thing. This is feeling real good about myself. Put some more in there. It'll make me feel even better later in the month. I went to do it and they wouldn't let me put any more money in because I was all caught up on the maximum amount of payments or something. And I almost cried that a bank account wouldn't let me give them money.
Yeah, that's incredible. They said you're done.
They were like, no, man. I'm sorry.
You already paid that off. Wow.
It's not paid off for sure, but it's just they won't let you pay more than a certain amount. You know?
Why wouldn't let you pay it all?
You know how it is with like credit, with cars and stuff like that. It's like they won't let you pay it all off right away without like a penalty because they want it to go on for longer, I believe.
Oh.
And I think that's what's going on. But it just is like most of the time I was like, we gotta get some money in the overdraft line of credit. And then this month I was like, we can't put no more money in the overdraft line of credit, and felt like Bill fucking Gates when that error message came in.
I don't think you are.
Bill Gates.
I think people doing the back of the napkin math here. I don't think you made out like Bill Gates on that one.
No, but I feel like it. Like I feel like, oh, this motherfucker is running around fucking just throwing money all. You know what I mean? Like I felt like for the first time in my life, I felt like, all right, man.
Okay.
You know, I got money. Like more.
But you didn't pay it off.
I can't. They won't let me.
Okay.
And I can't pay it off. I don't have that kind of money. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't know what happened here.
So far caught up on a bill that they won't let you pay anymore. I'm usually way behind.
You're only
on a
allowed
fucking
to pay.
bill.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
No. Actually, all my bills would take all my money anytime I want to give it to them.
I tried, man. They told me to fuck off.
That's great. I wish mine would.
I mean, it doesn't matter. It's not like it's really almost no money. I was just saying that, like, it felt like because a company wouldn't take any of my money because I was so caught up on a bill that it was like, this is the first time in my life that has ever happened. Like, that is a thing that, like, I'm usually being like, I need to get $43 to pay this bill. Or I have been for decades at this point. So I just felt, you know, a little more powerful. A little more Bill Gates-ish.
Sure.
I felt like a fucking Jeff Bezos with my $400.
Yeah, I know that you've never been that.
I'm never gonna be close to any of the. I'm never gonna be close to a millionaire.
Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Hey guys, this is Labor Lift.
Hey, Labor Lifts, do you think I could be a millionaire?
How are you going to get there?
Oh, I haven't thought of that
Depends on the
yet.
plan,
I'm just
I think.
saying, like, don't you think that I have the ability to become a millionaire? Brett's shaking his head no. I think this is not a vote of confidence. So when I do become
I think
a
if I knew who was qualified to be a millionaire and how to get there, I don't think I'd be like practically unemployed at this point. So I
That's
might not
true.
be the best person to
That's
ask.
true. I know. It's just I think I have the ability to do it someday. But what it involves is I just have to make money. You know?
Well, some hanging on to what you got is also one way.
And well, yeah, but I'm bad at that. So I gotta make a bunch of.
Yeah,
it has to involve making money for me. It can't be saving money.
Yeah, I would say for you to get to $1 million, you'd have to be making so much that you couldn't spend it fast enough, and you just accidentally end up with $1 million.
That's it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like I can hustle.
Yeah,
I
you got to like own that stuff that makes its own money, like factories and shit. But
Ooh, nope.
That's
I won't
pretty
own.
expensive.
I won't be a boss. I'm gonna tell you what. If I made $1 million, I would never be anybody's boss.
I just
sure.
think that every time you got to 900,000, you'd buy an $800,000 item.
Yeah, like
that's
a
how I
hoodie.
believe. Yeah, an $800,000 hoodie.
Yeah.
That'd be one nice model kit.
The only one. Yeah, really nice model.
Pair of shoes. I saw a $39,000 pair of shoes on StockX the other day.
Yeah.
And the thing that got me about
Holy
that
shit.
$39,000 pair of shoes, it was the highest bid was $26. And, but like it was a Dragon Ball Z pair of shoes. Like that is what gets up to $39,000.
Wow.
That's
That
Dragon
makes me
Ball
sad.
Z shit.
Were they doing some stunt with like a fashion company or something, or was it that expensive just for Dragon Ball Z?
It was Adidas and Dragon Ball Z. That was all it was. It was fucking crazy to me. Because it was just like the reason $39,000 pair of shoes is crazy anyway, no matter what. But like the fact that it's Dragon Ball Z that is fetching that kind of money.
They're just collectibles. They're like baseball cards. They're like action figures. They're like doll babies. They're like antiques. They're like anything that people collect.
I what I'm trying to say is I would never expect anything with Dragon Ball Z on it to be worth more than $100. Is what
You're
I'm trying
too old,
to
man.
say.
You're way too old.
That's I
It changed
agree.
all
I
of
am.
us. It's since me and Down, everybody's changed by Dragon Ball Z.
I know.
When it went to Toonami in the 90s.
I'm just
I
telling.
remember that. I wasn't allowed to watch the show because I was real little and it was too violent.
Whoa. Oh man. My brother was just telling me today that he takes his dog to a place where you can't verbally talk down to your dog while you're there. Right? Is that what he said? You
Yes.
were talking to him too.
Oh God, yeah. They had
And
to
I
sign a-
just was like, that. See, okay, now that's too much for me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's too. I am the most. Hey, look, I'm all for. I'm for safe spaces. Obviously, I think that there should be safe spaces. I even try to provide one to people listening to my show. Like that's my highest level of like. That's what I want to do. But dogs can get yelled at. I mean, that's just been historically. People yell at dogs.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we should. I mean,
You
we
have to holler
shouldn't
at
be
them.
yelling at each other as people.
Right.
We shouldn't be doing that.
Right.
We need something to yell at because there's obviously an innately human drive to yell at things.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not immune to it. I love
It's
yelling
cathartic,
at things. Yeah, I love yelling. Again, dream vacation somewhere so far away that I can scream all day and all night. All I want,
I like yelling at kids, so.
Oh,
It still gets something out of me.
Great. I didn't do it a lot when Gwen was a kid. I mean, every once in a while, I'd give her one of these. Oh, come on, dude. Yeah. know, like I yelled at her probably 3 times the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking laid back guy. You know, hey, I'm like ice cold. So what's up, Labor Lifts?
No, I think the last time I yelled at a kid was when I was teaching a middle school English class.
That makes sense.
Did this kid piss you off like so badly? Like I can't imagine how old was the kid?
Oh, dude, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to get me riled up. I think he would have been about 13.
Oh, experts.
Around there.
Experts in that. They are.
Oh,
I mean,
we were on the second floor of the school building. He's got one of those like plastic balls with suction cups all around it.
Okay. This is gonna rule.
And he's throwing it and sticking it to stuff. Whenever you let him get his hands on it. So I had confiscated it earlier in the class. I give it back at the end. I'm walking out the door, and before I even get out the door, this kid has opened the window on the second floor of this building and is holding it like he's going to drop it down on the cars in the parking lot.
That's it.
Yeah, that's funny.
I mean, he's just having a time there, huh?
I grabbed that thing out of his hand and pulled him back from the window, and this was an English class. He did not speak very much English.
Okay.
This was in Fukushima, Japan, but there's a level of angry you get to where any second language just goes away. So instead of being able to explain to him why what he was doing was stupid, I just, in English, was just shouting, why would you think that's okay? Why would this occur to you as an idea?
I had an earth science teacher, Mr. Schwendeman, when I was in 9th grade, and I was the worst student in the fucking world to this guy. Like, he hated me, my fucking guts. And one day, the bell for the end of the day of school accidentally went off. I don't know if they were like testing it or if there was something else, like, or if somebody hit the button on accident, but the bell went off. And I knew that it was not the end of the school day. But as soon as it went off, he's in the middle of a lecture. As soon as it goes off, I get off and get up and start running at the door, like fast. Not fast, but as in like, you know. And he fucking grabbed me by the arm and held me up against the wall and was so fucking mad. I've never seen another person be that mad at me before, and he yelled at me. And when I think about it now, it's like, yeah, the running towards the door thing's just a gag. I probably wouldn't have even ran out the door. You know, I was just doing a little gag, a little funny gag. But that's not the reason he did it. He did it because that was the icing on several cakes. You know, like that's most of the time when an adult yells at a kid, it's more of like just the general vibe of the day. Right?
Yeah, I had a history teacher in like 9th grade who was known for just flipping out on kids. And there was some story that he had like thrown one of these big ass hardcover textbooks at a kid one time. I don't know how you keep your job when you have that reputation, but he would absolutely fly off the handle.
Yeah, a lot of teachers kept their job where I went that had reputations for being angry and mean. I had a math teacher, and he was the other person that's the maddest I've ever seen somebody, because he had a goddamn ceiling fan in his room, in his classroom, and this fucking dude grabbed his textbook and just fucking tossed it into the ceiling fan while the guy's talking. And the guy got so mad he kicked a trash can into the hallway and was just fucking screaming at us. Like, and it was like at the time, I didn't understand why he got so mad about it.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, it's funny. It was the guy's doing a fucking gag with the book.
He's doing this for everybody. It's for everybody. This is a little boring in here. It's like everybody's like looking for something new besides what teachers put
math.
out.
Yeah, you're sitting in math. You're like, this is nothing's happening here. It's like you're up there with numbers and letters, and I hate it. And that guy threw the fucking book into the ceiling fan. It was very exciting for everybody in the classroom. And I gotta say, if I'm making a value judgment on who's worth more to me right now, it's ceiling fan book guy.
Okay.
For sure.
He's probably be a fake reference for you.
Yeah, we should actually have got to vote on who was worse in that situation when we were in school, because kicking a trash can into the hallway, that's a little much. You know, but those old metal school trash cans into a fucking hallway with no carpet or anything like that.
Bang, bang, yeah.
Too much.
Going off.
Too fucking much.
When I was in 4th grade, we made the computer lab teacher quit. Just walk out of the classroom on the spot and quit.
I mean,
it was one of those like rotations you do in elementary school. You go out to gym one day, and we had a computer lab when the schools in the area were just starting to get them. And the teachers would just drop you off with that whatever class you had that day, and that was their break. So we knew we didn't have to listen to whoever the person was we saw like once every other week to like learn how to type. So people just ignored her. She'd say, "Oh, you can't talk. Don't, search boobs on Google or whatever." And everybody just ignored her because, our main teachers weren't going to have any consequences for that. And one day she just said, "I give up," and walked out of the classroom and down to the main office and quit.
Oh,
yeah, she'd been talking it up in her head,
Yeah, that was going on for a while.
Yeah.
It was like
that was probably a long time coming.
Yeah, probably every class was like that.
Yeah.
Teachers sometimes, I mean, there are times, and we have a lot of teacher listeners, and I'm just going to tell you this. Sometimes you get a reputation for something wild, like, oh, she'll scream. This teacher will scream at the class if she gets mad. And then the students just all the time are like,
yeah, let her do her thing.
Let's see if we can
let's rile her up.
Yeah, let's see if we can get her to scream. I really, with middle school teachers specifically, but also, I mean, my daughter's high school is the kids are so good that like there's maybe 2 that get in any kind of trouble. And it's just amazing to me, and that's why.
And they're all sitting around like, that was poor decision making on their part, and they know like how to make better choices.
Yeah, and they like the kids get grounded when they get, it's this whole. I got grounded when I got in trouble too, but I didn't care. It was worth it. But like, it's just wild how like. Teenagers can really fuck your day up. Like, they can really get you mad.
All kids.
Yeah, all kids can really get you mad. They have like they're the only people that a lot of times will make us mad enough to yell. I don't want to fucking let some adult get me so mad that I'm yelling at them. That seems like too much. Kids sometimes, and people are like, why are you yelling at your kids? It's like kids sometimes are not going to respond to anything. But that I've found at times where it's like, no, you just got to be like, cut the fucking shit, please.
Yeah.
And then it works, you know? So.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Well,
thanks for calling in, Labor Lifts. We love you.
Yeah, it's good to talk with you guys.
Yeah, it was fun.
You guys have a good night. Oh,
You too.
Do you mind if I plug something?
Yeah? No?
Maybe so.
I started up a Left Fitness Discord server. If anybody's interested, it's on the Swoletariat subreddit, and there's just a link. Anybody can hop in.
Swoletariat subreddit has the Discord link?
Yeah. You guys are gonna...
Yeah, it should be up there.
Okay,
cool. Yeah. Divide up the
we've
exercises
got a lot of people so
even.
far. They're pretty cool.
Divide up the reps evenly, right?
Yeah.
That's what Brian said.
That's what I think.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Maybe some of us can do a little less.
Yeah, we could. That would be great if we all agreed to do 1,500 squats today. But as a group, some of us would put in more than others. It's like steps.
I would do
from each according to ability.
Yeah, I would do 8 to 10.
Yeah, I'm good.
Just to help.
I'm good for 100, a couple hundred.
I'm not good for that many. You watched me try to do yoga last week, and it was like, it looked Well, you guys made it sound like a man made of wood was trying to do yoga.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like the type of language you would use. I'm sure that's the old saying for the person that doesn't practice yoga.
Well, it's just I don't stretch very much.
Yeah.
I want to start the stretching thing now. I think like I got to figure out how to
do the splits. Go for splits. You just get because learn how to do the splits.
Can you do the splits?
No.
Okay, I'm not gonna be able to learn.
Just practice the splits. And then you could bust the splits on people, and they'd be like, "No way, Brian just did the splits." You're like, "I'll do it again." Bow, and you just do the splits.
I mean, this is really appealing.
Yes, it's impressive.
Because I like a challenge.
Backflip's also good for that.
Backflip is also standing backflip. I don't
think I'll ever be able to do that.
I think it's a little late in life for that.
The splits, I think I can work the splits out a little bit. I think that
every day I try the splits.
Yeah, if it was every day, I tried and I did all the exercises you would have to do to learn the splits because I'm sure it's a move, and then I'll start doing the splits on the live shows.
Okay,
and then you can do a move too.
You have to figure out a move.
You know,
do the back
do one of those yoga. Do one of those things where you on one hand.
I can do a headstand.
One hand is
a one hand.
One hand is so good, dude.
Okay.
Like people that know how to stand on one hand, they're the most powerful.
Acrobats, professional acrobats.
I mean, I've seen other people do it though on like YouTube and shit.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
When I was a teenager, I used to be able to hold it for a couple of seconds. And some yearbook person took a picture of it, was like, "Yeah, we're going to put this in the yearbook," and they never did.
Labor Lifts did it.
I was like, "God damn, I spent time practicing. You're not even going to use it."
Yeah.
Sounds like a great shot.
That's what I'm hoping for with the splits. Like, I get it down before we go to tour, and then a bunch of people will get pictures of me. And then all of a sudden, the AV club's like, "Can you believe this podcaster can do the splits?"
That's the report we're going to get.
That's we'll get some press, man.
This guy, he didn't look like he did the splits at all. He did the splits. It was wild. He also showed me that he had walked 400,000 steps that week.
I don't know. I'd want to listen to that podcast.
Okay.
You know,
I like it.
Let's take a break.
We take a break?
Yeah, let's take a break.
You guys take it easy. I'll send you that link.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Callers,
Right.
You'll get on the line. There's not very many of
Or
you.
we can ride it out if that's what you want to do.
We can take a break. I'm fine with breaks. I like breaks.
Okay.
I need to fill up my drink again.
Okay.
And so today was Brian's daughter's birthday.
What a wonderful young lady.
And it was at our house. Basically, I woke up and started working, and then I went from cleaning up the outside to making spaghetti to doing all of the tech, all of the sound tech, to play the music and then to play the movie outside. And then all of a sudden it was time to record. So, and I feel
I should have helped with some of that. I apologize for that.
I've been in motion the whole time.
Me too.
And I did not. I checked the balance on that. I really apologize to everybody that got hung up on that. It really sucked. I was just not in the right mind frame right now, and I looked like shit. I hate the live stream right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shower before every single show.
If you're listening, you can call in. There is space
plenty of room
on the
if you're
feed, and we'd love
listening,
to take your calls. So.
All right, so we'll be back in a few minutes. This week we got music from Never Better. You can find them at neverbettershreds.bandcamp.com.
Hell yeah.
This is their demo. And it's short, but whatever. We can just have dead air, I guess, if it happens. I think it might go to the next song.
Straight, drove into the drive. stay. Hell and back, through a lunch break. I'm pins and needles away. Quick time, 12 hours later. Fucked up again. I had plans on my way. Put a beer in my hand. Was yelling on the phone. I said things I didn't mean. I hope you know you're the sunshine in my dark life, sunshine. And I don't wanna listen, and I don't wanna think, I'd maybe feel better if I didn't worry and everything. But I don't wanna listen, and I don't wanna think.
All right, welcome back to Street Fight Radio, the call-in show. Thank you for those of you that have followed along through all the tumultuous times we've had this evening. Sorry for starting late. Sorry for running out of money, but thank you for calling in. If those of you that have stuck with us
We've had some great calls so far. That music was from Never Better. They're at neverbettershreds.bandcamp.com. Very easy to remember. Out of Portland, Oregon. So show them some love. Follow them. You know, hit them up. Buy their music. Show them some support. If you're in a band and you want to send stuff our way, streetfightradio@gmail.com or DM on Twitter, Facebook, any of that stuff, we'll get to it. I don't know what else. What's going on? Shocktober 2 is happening right now. If you want to support the show and hear more, you know, if you want more Street Fight Radio, I just did the Love Line episode with Brian and Chris, but it was really fun.
It was Love Line was a fun episode. I was worried about it. I was like a little bit like, this is an odd show to do. You know, Shock Jock for teenagers is not something I said this at the end of the show. It's like an oddity that there was this Shock Jock radio show for teenagers, because teenagers, I mean, we're talking 18 to 35 maybe, or 18 to 41, I think is the demo that they shoot for.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's usually for older men is who they're shooting for. So this was a show for teenagers with Adam Carolla, of all people, who doesn't seem like a guy that would work well with any teenagers.
Right.
But, you know, the show is entertaining enough to listen to. I didn't hate it.
Yeah, it was a big part of my growing up for sure. And before, you know, internet was available, it was a place to hear questions that you had but would never ask out loud.
Very dumb questions.
Very dumb.
Like,
very
there
stupid
were a
sex
lot
questions.
of like guys that didn't quite understand how sex works.
Yes.
Calling in and asking questions about sex, and it was just kind of like, this person is way misunderstood. Also, like, when I was young, I believed a lot of that. I believed a lot of those, like, you know, rumors about sex. Like, you just hear it's this thing that's built up so much in your head that, like, it's impossible not to have 50 different, like, weird beliefs about it, you know, or believe things like sex can cause cancer and stuff like that.
Yeah, there was lots of questions about whether you can get cancer from somebody through sex.
Yeah,
which is I would have never asked that, but I'm glad we got to all hear it out loud. That
I'm glad
somebody
a person got to answer that question.
Right.
Like, they got an answer to that question.
It would have been a lingering question, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right, we got just a couple calls to end out the show here, so let's get to them. Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Oh, hey guys, what's up?
Not a lot. Who's this?
Hey, this is Bingus the Bongs from Iowa City.
Oh, right.
Bingus Bongs? What was the name?
Bingus of the Bongs.
Ah, yes.
Bingus of the Bongs on Instagram. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, you're okay.
Oh, all right. Well, I never know if people can hear me on the earbuds. Whenever I'm talking to my mom, it's a whole ordeal with.
Is it AirPods?
People can't hear me on the Apple. No.
Just on the Apple thing?
AirPods. Just the regular earbuds.
I have both, and I never think anybody can hear me. So, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Well, what's up tonight? I know you didn't call to talk about earbuds.
No.
Unless you did, we can do that. I love them.
No. I hate them. I've bought like 6 pairs over the last like 4 years. They suck.
They short out.
Anyway, yeah. I don't know. I want to keep it short and sweet, you know, probably because you got a lot of other calls. And really, last time I called in, maybe like a year ago, I ended up feeling kind of embarrassed at how much time I ended up taking up from you guys because I was a little tipsy.
Well, we can hang up on you if you take too much time.
Sure, yeah. But I got a short story about a nice little scam that I used to do when I was a teenager.
Cool.
Okay.
I know you guys love scams.
Yes, more than anything.
And scam and time. It's time to do flim flam and scam and all of that.
Yeah, we live in scam world now.
Yeah.
Yeah. First, though, I just wanted to comment on Brian's overdraft account.
Yeah.
That you got at your bank. I have basically the same thing, although it doesn't sound exactly the same, but it's like a line of credit account.
Yeah.
I've had it at my bank for like 5 years. I ended up getting it because I couldn't get a credit card, and this was like the next best thing. But I had a job where I started working for a solar company, and they wanted you to buy all these tools in order to get hired, like an impact driver and like this certain socket set and like a belt and the right kind of shoes for being on a roof and stuff. And went to my bank, and they had this line of credit thing, and I got $400 line of credit from the bank. It's like a separate checking account, I guess. And so I bought all those tools for like $350, and it basically now it just functions as an overdraft protection thing. 'Cause,
Yeah.
if I ever like fuck up and Spotify comes out of my PayPal and I don't have any money in my bank, instead of them charging me the overdraft fee, they just withdraw it from that line of credit account.
Yeah.
But long story short on that, it's been like 4 or 5 years since I've had that, and I don't think I've ever made it. Well, I've definitely never made it back down to zero that I owe them. I've consistently kept it at like 150 to 200 left.
Yeah. I do that a lot too.
Credit, like now.
I do. I mean, a lot of times
Yeah.
it's 200 to 150, but this time I got a little more in there, and I felt so powerful. And I need an overdraft line of credit. I overdraft a lot, but I don't overdraft at the account anymore because of the line of credit. I've been able to not overdraft, but it's one of those things that's like, it's what you said. Spotify comes out, and you're already kind of, moving in the direction of no money, and you're like, shit, I thought I had $40 and now I have, $25. And that's a significant difference when you're dealing in that level of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got mine because our car needed fixed, is what happened. We needed our car fixed. We couldn't get a credit card. We couldn't get a loan, but they said, we can give you an overdraft line of credit, and then you can just overdraft your account. It doesn't matter. And I'm like, tight, let's do that. And then, I've owed on it since.
Yep.
That car.
Match made in heaven.
I'm still paying for that car to this day. That fucking 97 Grand Am. I am still paying for that car.
Oh, wow.
All the way to now.
Oh.
It's a Grand Am, man. We all sin and drive a Grand Am. And that's what happens to you. It costs you money you're still paying in your 40s.
It's unfortunate.
So what's up?
Yeah. Oh, there was a caller like a couple weeks ago, I think, that was talking about their like train hopping story.
Yeah.
And it brought up this old memory. Back when I was like 18 and 19, I did the shithead thing and just decided to go hitchhiking and ended up doing like train hopping for a year.
So cool.
There was this great scam that me and my friends ran, though, which is what I want to talk about.
Okay.
And it's not a great scam. It's a horrible scam. It's the dumbest scam ever. You don't get hardly any money for it. But
those are the best ones to hear about, though.
Yeah. You get some cash, but so basically, we would go to Target, and I think they still have Starbucks and Targets now.
Yep.
So you would go to Target and get something inconspicuous from, like, what I would usually do is get like an expensive phone case for like $50 or something, like an iPad, like a tablet case,
OtterBox or something.
Yeah, some expensive phone case for like $50, and just walk it right on over to the customer service counter and return it with no receipt. And all they and sometimes I can't remember if they wanted an ID or not. It didn't really
changed.
matter. We were they usually want an ID if you're like returning something to Walmart or something with a receipt, but I feel like they didn't a lot of the time.
When I was 18 doing that stuff, they did not have it asked for IDs every single time. It helped your case, though. They were more likely to give you the return if you had an ID. But it wasn't, it wasn't always mandatory. And, yeah, we would also try to buy stuff and, you know, return it in another place and keep the receipt and shit, that kind of shit, before it was all digitized.
Yeah.
And also tags, when that's back when you could do tag switching. Where you would just take a tag off something else and put it on a different box, and they would just type it in.
Yeah, I just recently...
But you have to do it on something like cookware. Something that like they don't understand that it's $300 cookware that you just bought for $70 or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I just recently bought a pair of earbuds and then took them back and bought another pair of earbuds for $70 instead of $30. And then I took them back again without a receipt, and I had to just stand there and be like, I know this looks bad. I know what this looks like, but I'm telling you, I just want to return these. They don't work, and I don't like them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And they ended up doing it, but I think me pleading my case was what got me there.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, I'm looking at them like, look, if you can't do it, I fucking get it if you can't do it, because I know what this looks like.
Right.
And I think that's what got me to be able to do it, was like just being honest with like, it looks like I'm ripping you off. I swear I'm not ripping you off.
Right.
So where the scam comes in is not just the classic return scheme, but at the Targets, you could only get in-store credit.
Yeah.
So they give you a gift card, but since they have a Starbucks in the Target, you can also get a Starbucks gift card. And with that credit, so I get like a $50 Starbucks gift card. And I don't know if they do this anymore, but at the time, you could take your Starbucks gift card and get cash back.
Oh, they'd never let you do that now. Yeah, they would never. That shit's way over with. They cut that shit out because that really was like a good scheme.
Yeah.
It would but it was really stupid even at the time, because I think there was like a $10 maximum cash back amount. So you had like a $50 gift card, and then you would go in and buy. I would go in and buy a shot of espresso for like $1.50 or whatever, and then get the remaining of that $10 cash back. So like, you know,
making
end up with
like $8,
$8.25, and then use that cash to go buy a pack of cigarettes.
Hey, you know, it's a lot of work for the amount of money. Right. I will say that.
You're a hard worker.
Yeah, you are a hard worker. And I always say the best scammers would actually make more if they did a real job. A lot of times, like the people that come up with the most scams would just do better to get a real job.
Yeah.
I used to, anytime I got gift certificates when they were actual certificates and not cards, I would just go and buy something really cheap and get all the money back.
Yeah,
but I remember it only I mean, I wasn't out of high school before they stopped doing that, you know. It would be like, you know, I had an uncle that would give us $10 in McDonald's gift certificates every year, and I would just go buy a fucking Sprite and get the rest of the money back and buy a pack of cigarettes with it. So it was the same thing, but like I always came out, you know, it's like my uncle handed me $10 in McDonald's gift cards, which were worth about $8,
right,
to me, you know. I mean, also having McDonald's cards is really good. Like having back then, Like if somebody gave you a gift card for a restaurant, that was just some shit that you were gonna buy anyway. But they kind of put one out of the, like if somebody gave you an Applebee's or a Ruby Tuesday gift card back in our early days, we would be like, this is fucking nuts, dude. We get to go to Ruby Tuesdays and not have to pay.
Even now, if somebody gave me like an Applebee's gift card or something, I just feel I'm never gonna go to Applebee's, but I have a gift card for $40. Like I'm definitely going to Applebee's now.
Yeah.
This is like a night out.
There's a machine now that you can stick your gift cards in and get like a little more than half of the money back at the grocery store. And it's so depressing of a machine to use. I've used it and it bums me out every fucking time I use it. I'm just like, this is the lowest. This is my lowest point right here. This is pawning shit.
Basically,
at this point. This is what it was like when I had to pawn my birthday radio, and then my parents kept coming in my room and saying, "Where's your stereo?" And I'd have to be like, "Oh, I took it to my friend's house."
Yeah.
And they'd be like, "You get that back." And it's like, the pawn shop's not going to give it back unless I pay him that money.
Yeah, I gotta go make a payment on that thing. Not just talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I never got a single thing back out of the pawn shop.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're designed for.
Yeah. Did you ever get anything back?
I've never pawned anything.
Wow.
Yeah, I've never went to the pawn shop.
That's because you're a money guy. You know how to make money. You're a scam guy.
Yeah, I wouldn't do scams.
Only losers like me go to the pawn shop. People too lazy to figure out how to do something, and just every time they're broke, they go looking around their house. Like, what can I fucking sell? That's what'll solve all my problems if I sell something.
Right.
Usually a game system.
Yeah, that's the cash in, of course.
Yeah. I sold that stereo for 50. I was like, well, let's go to the place. I got this stereo. I'll sell it for $50, and then we'll go buy a quarter of weed or a half ounce. Yeah, a quarter of weed, and fucking we'll just hang out all night and smoke all this weed. And then we went, and they were like, we can do 20. And I was like, hey, this is a whole stereo. But it was just one of those shelf systems. They weren't going to get more than $20 out of the fucking, or $30 out of the fucking thing.
Right.
But I thought they were going to give me 50. I was so excited, you know? Oh, God. You know what I never did?
Selling a stereo. Oh, sorry.
You know what I never did? My little thing that I never did? Well, I never gave blood because I'm afraid of needles. But I never did rent to own. I never rented to own anything in my life. That's the one thing. That's the one broke people scam that I never got tied up in.
I got so close to that fire. Like, I would go in there and look at stuff. Like, this computer is so nice. My computer at home sucks so bad. I only need $65 a week to have this computer for the next 4 years. I'm going to pay $6,000 for this computer. But I would get so close, and I'd let him pitch me, and I would just leave. I couldn't. Yeah. It's bad. It's like everybody tells you it's the worst deal in town. Yep. But you're like, I need this thing.
TVs.
I need a couch right now. I need I know someone that did errands on their couch, and it was like, that makes sense because I went and looked at couches and was like, I'll never have that money.
Yeah, TVs and DVDs, man. Like TVs and DVD players at that time were just like, I would look at those fucking things and just be like, I could get the biggest fucking TV.
Yeah.
You know, and a surround sound system. Like, I could get the whole home theater that I'm dreaming about, the plasma TV, which at the time is like a fucking really expensive TV. And it was just like, I would get it all in my head, and I just couldn't walk through the door because, like you said, bad deal. It's just, it's a bad deal. So it's really hard to make the bad deal. It's like writing the first payday advance for me was hard. It wasn't because I knew that's a bad deal. You know what I mean? My dad had said, if you ever need the money, call me. But
Right. He wasn't going to do that.
He never gave me the money, number one. And number two, it's just, there's too much shame wrapped up in it, you know?
Yeah.
It's like the thing we did with Katie. My wife, her parents had gas station credit cards when we were like early together, and we would have no money. And she would be like, Dad, can I borrow the gas station credit card? And then we would go fucking grocery shopping at a gas station with their credit card and just fucking, we'd just buy
Right.
a bunch of shit so that we would have food
Milk,
for the rest
eggs,
of the week.
Velveeta.
Carton of cigarettes,
Yeah.
you know, and just also fill the tank up with gas. So it was like, you know, we went to the fucking gas station and spent $100 on her dad's gas card. Like, oh, that car eats gas, you know?
Yeah.
That was like that was like a good scam we had, but it involves ripping off somebody's parents.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be in that department.
Yeah, I had to pay back on my money. My parents would not lend me money, and like I had to sit down and explain to them how and when it was going to get paid back, and they made it such a hassle that I would never ask them.
Yeah. I mean, my parents just said no. And like her parents, they knew what we were doing with the gas card. We did it 100 fucking times.
Yeah, I mean, you don't care. I wouldn't care if my kid did that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah, I mean, we
so, I mean, the $100 goes so far, you know.
Yeah.
When you're looking for any like just groceries, like you said, you don't have groceries.
Yeah, for sure. And it was just like one of those like, I don't know. It's just something we had to do at the time. We just needed Oreos and Hot Pockets and big ass cheeseburgers. We didn't get those, but I always see those and I think about them all the time. Every time I see them, I'm like, why did they name it Big Ass?
I never ate the Bomb XXL burrito, and I always wanted that one too.
Yeah. Big Ass though to me is like the most egregious. It's one Z, but then other times I've seen it as two Z's.
Big
It's
Ass.
a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Big AZZ. And you would be like, oh, dip.
As soon as I type Big Ass, it says burger.
Yeah.
Yes. I never noticed the name, to be honest. You can get them. You can buy like a whole crate of them.
Yeah,
like
I know.
Yeah, sorry.
I know the Big Ass, man. I've seen people at the grocery store like buying just a cart full of those.
Yeah.
Instead of like real food.
Right. No. Amazon has a case of them for $60. A case of 10.
That's
$6 a big ass burger.
Yeah,
Fast
a big
food
ass.
is cheaper than that.
Yeah, the Big Ass though. You're getting some
It's
big
Big
ass. You know, you're buying the brand name too. You know.
Oh, I listened to the Doughboys They did an AM PM.
Oh, no. No.
And they talked about the way the burger tasted, and it brought me back so much. They were like, it just tastes like microwave burger. That just as soon as you bite into it, it just falls away. Like it's
For $51.95, you can get a big ass Bacon Addict cheeseburger pack of 10.
Pack of 10. Okay, that's a good deal.
Bacon Addict.
Bacon
it looks
Addict.
vile in the
Yeah,
picture.
it's so spongy. That meat is like those spongy meatball, like the spongy Chef Boyardee meatball type stuff.
I mean, the funny thing is like I was really into like JTM cheeseburgers, right? Like when I was growing up, when I saw the JTM box, I always kind of felt like this is like McDonald's.
Sure.
You know, and I would get real excited. And then the switch happened sometime in my life where I was like, I will never put another one of those in my mouth.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like there's a whole. It looks like there's a whole thing set up here online of like gas station food you can buy by the bulk. Like they got the Deli Express 100% beef cheeseburger sandwich, 7.4 ounces here. Roller Bites cheeseburger, the cheeseburger hot dog.
You can buy this. You found cases of them?
Yeah, $49.95 from the Rebel Smuggling Galactic Emporium.
So do you think do you have a roller for your house? Do you get like a private roller for your house then?
Dude, I think you can because it's really just a cheeseburger in the shape of a hot dog. So I think you can just put them in the microwave. I mean, if you're buying those things, you're probably not making them like for flavor, I guess. The Advanced Pierre Big Ass Rack O Ribs Barbecue Pork Rib Sandwich. That's $45.95 for a pack of 8. But hey, what are you gonna do, man?
I'll take 10, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll take 10. I'd love that.
Well, thanks for calling in. That is a bad scam.
Oh, yeah.
I got to tell you.
Yeah,
but
Can I give you one more horrible scam that you just reminded me of when you were bringing up the payday advance thing?
Yeah.
And I'll take the commentary off the air. I got to get some dinner going anyway, and I don't want to take up too much more time. But you're talking about the payday thing, and you guys are always talking about that, and it just triggered this memory that the reason I got into the payday advance shit for a year at like $200 like a week or every other week, whenever it was, I was stupid enough to think that when I had no money, I could get a payday advance and buy this shitty laptop off of Craigslist and then flip it for a profit.
Oh no.
And I think I may have broken even or not even broken even.
Well,
and then just ended up basically trying to run a shitty jerry-rigged eBay business of tchotchkes from the thrift store and Craigslist using that payday advance thing, and it just never ever turned a profit.
You can't win.
Any of that up.
A year of interest.
And it just got me stuck into the payday advance.
Yeah,
So,
you
like,
can't
anyway,
beat them.
Failed scam. I'm gonna get off the phone because I gotta make some dinner. But it's good to talk to you guys. Shocktober's going great. By the way.
Oh, thank you. You always think you can beat them. You always, every time, think you can beat the payday advance, the rent-to-own place. I'm here to tell you that every time I did one of these things, you think you can beat fucking GameStop. You can't beat GameStop. You can't beat the payday advance place. It will get you. Every fucking time.
I got it for. He's exactly right. You go into it and you're like, okay, I'm going to borrow $400. Now I make $400 every 2 weeks. I'm going to pay that $400 back in 2 weeks. Though when I get paid, boom, I get paid. I pay that back the payday advance loan. I'm done. I paid it. I did it. And then you're like, but now I have $0 for 2 weeks. So what am I supposed to do? Is it feasible to live on $0 for 2 weeks? It's not.
Yeah, I know. I always fucking think
I always thought I would go. I also would try to go down. Like, you know, you would go to 500 and you'd be like, I'm going to do 450 next time. Let's figure out, I'm going to lose $89 in this transaction. Then I'll go to 400. Then once you get down to 400, that's when it's like, something happened. I need to go back to 500 again. We're going to restart the payment program. I mean, somebody mentioned it online, and this is absolutely true, but I mean, it's all a class in a way is all like really relative the amount of debt they will trust you with or let you have. How much they will let you put on the line is really what everyone's dealing with. Most people do not have the amount of money in the bank account that they spend with, you know, and most people are doing these types of things. You know, there's people that have $5,000 a limit credit cards and are paying it off every month, but they're filling it every month. And then if they did not fill it every month, they would be in crisis, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and it's all built on debt and credit, and it's stupid because it's over, you know, it's over things like a case of beer. It's over like an alternator on a car. It's over just so many insignificant things.
Yeah.
Or like I said, a computer that works. Just a fucking decent computer. And it's like, I will do anything. I'll pay $45 a week to get this computer. Please, God.
Thinking you can flip something is the classic scammer's mistake. You call that that is not the scammer's delight. That's the scammer's mistake.
Flipping is something that you never do with somebody else's money. Flippers, you start with a paper clip and you get someone to give you a dime for that paper clip. You buy something for a dime, you sell it for 50 cents, and you move your way up till you have $200 to spend. You don't ever go borrowing money for shit like that because,
it's never worked.
You're in over your head.
It's never worked in the history of something working.
Yeah.
Ever. Unless you do it illegitimately somehow. Like if you steal something and sell it, then you can make money off of it. But buying a laptop for $200 on eBay actually means that you're not going to be able to sell it for more than $200 after you get it in your house. Like you weren't getting a deal.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But it's a funny thing to think about all the things I tried to beat back then and thinking that I could it's like I'm going to be the fucking one that wins. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to be the one that goes to CheckSmart.
Yeah.
And I fucking
use it one time.
I take out $200 and then next week I live a little more modestly and spend, less than that $200. It's going to be great. I'm going to fucking get it paid off, and then I'll never have to do this again. It was a whole dark part of the history of my life, and it's all over with now. Yep. And then 5 years later, you're like, I got to stop by the CheckSmart before I go home and write for $500. And it, or what it was like I had to stop and I have to give them $575, and then I'll run in tomorrow. I think I can fit it in my errands where I can get the new $500 payday advance.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it's like this demoralizing circle where I just firmly fucking believe that like you should just be able to get $500.
Yeah.
Anybody should be able to just get $500.
People are spending it on meals. There are people that have too much and are spending it on meals, and someone just needs it. An employee at that restaurant where someone's getting a $500 meal needs it to get there.
I mean, Jeff Bezos could afford to send each one of us several different $500 non-loans.
Sure.
Just giving it $500. I'll call it this. Universal $500 access is what I'm calling for.
Okay.
And it's just like, how many times in your life would $500 have saved you? What if you can go to the post office and say, hey, I need $500. Right. And then they reach into the cash register and they just hand you $500.
I like that.
And if they keep track of it, Maybe you only get to do it 10 times in a year, or 5 times in a year. 10 times probably sounds like a lot. Then it turns into UBI.
Yeah, then it's just like, instead of going to CheckSmart, you're just going to go pick up $500 a month.
Yeah. So 5 times a year, if you need $500, you can fucking have it. Go to the post office and get it directly removed from Jeff Bezos' bank account.
Okay.
That's my plan.
Solved. All right, this
I
is the
should
last
run
call.
for fucking president, dude. That plan would be successful.
Everybody needs 500.
You're telling me, man.
Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Hello?
Howdy.
Hey, what's up? Who's this?
Hey, what's up? It's Jack from South Florida.
What's up, Jack? How's it going in South Florida? COVID capital of the universe. I don't know if that's true.
It's good. I'm glad I caught you guys. I'm a payday loan collector.
What?
Gone?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So I
thankless.
collect on payday loans, and I get a certain percentage, and then that's my job. So if you got to do a little AMA on my job.
What? It's just, you were my worst enemy. You were my actual nemesis.
Third party, though? Like, you do it for, did you get hired?
Yeah, so my bosses...
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you tell me. I don't. What do you do?
Okay, so my bosses buy debt at a certain percentage, and then I try and collect it, basically.
Got it. Okay. See, my wife worked at a payday place, and basically she had clients. So anybody that she wrote with, she was personally in charge of, and like they would call you and try to get you to pay. Now, I imagine after that doesn't work, that's when it goes to you.
Yeah. So we're third party, I guess, technically.
You're not giving out the loans, are you?
No, but there's bosses above me that do give out loans, and then so they give us basically like good debt that's like it's called zero debt, where no one has tried to collect on it yet, and then if we can't collect on it, then we basically sell it again to someone else for less of a percentage.
I love the American economy. It's fucking fantastic.
Churning. Keep that debt.
I know, it's terrible, and I hate it, but I've been doing it for 2 years, so I'm like, I'm kind of good at it. And I mean, I've been listening to you guys for like probably about a year and a half now. I mean, I've been listening to leftist media for probably about a year and a half now, and I hate it. But there's like, I mean, what am I going to do? Like, I live in South Florida, so like it's basically a phone room. I don't know if you guys know what that is.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, South Florida is like king of the phone rooms. So whatever I'm going to be doing, it's a fucking scam.
Yeah. I've worked in a few places. Columbus is pretty big on call centers, but when I worked for the Insurance Leads place, we sold tons of health insurance data to Florida, where there was dialers of people waiting to harass people into stuff. But I did also spend some time doing what was called the over limit program at Discover Card, where people would be, I would talk to people that literally there were $10,000 over their limit, and we would have to come up with payments that they could make to get them back. But most of those fucking fees, most of their balance was from fees. Like after, they won't let you make new charges, but they'll put an over limit fee on there for every single month for years. But payday advance, I don't have any experience. I've only ran away on my payday advances and had them call my friends and family. That's another one, like job interviews.
Yeah, and that's what we do. We call your friends and family, and we're like, hey, like, where's this guy? Like, he's been fucking off for this long. Like, we get that from like 2019, so it's like pretty recent, because it's like no one's ever worked it before. But there are places that are calling people that have payday loans from like 2016, and like most of those people already know, like, hey, fuck off, this shit's not even on my credit anymore.
Right.
So I kind of have a good yeah.
That makes me feel good.
Some of these debts are worked for 3 or 4 times, and we're working debt that has never been worked before. So it's kind of like a good job, but like I still like fucking like feel bad, and I always hear you guys talking about payday loans, so I figured I'd first time, long time. I'd call in. And,
here's the thing, like I've said this on the show before. Like, people do what they got to do, and I guess if you're collecting on it, it's like maybe they can pay it. Because if somebody can't pay it, because there's guys like me who you're never gonna get me to. I will never answer the phone.
Yeah,
it just isn't ever gonna happen.
Right.
And
come bring handcuffs to the house if you want to talk to me about it.
Yeah, you would have to take me to jail. If you called somebody in my family, which I imagine that becomes a little harder to do though, right? Because people aren't just answering strange callers, are they?
Oh, no. It's way better to go through someone's like mom or dad, or like even like a cousin or like an uncle. Like, oh, I haven't talked to them in 3 years. We'll be like, oh, well, they're in trouble. Like, can you get in contact with them?
Yeah.
Like, possibly. And like, and I go through it like a nice way. Like, there's certain people I work with that are like literally like yelling at people, and like I always just try to be professional about it. Which,
what do you yell at somebody?
Just makes me feel better. But
what kind of things do you hear people yelling?
Oh, like all this shit, like shut your mouth, like, do you know this person, like blah blah blah, like crazy shit, bro. Like, and I'm always like a professional. Like, if someone says they don't know someone, I hang up on them.
Yeah,
I'm like, all right, well, this is a waste of time. Yeah, like some people go like just like off the walls, like, and like I work in an office like of like 40 people, and it's probably like, I don't know, they've been trying to like tone it down, but it's probably like half the people that are like and we can't use slurs or anything, so like shut your mouth is a big one.
Shut your mouth is like and
you're
allowed to say, though,
I would hang up on you immediately if someone called me saying that shit.
I don't know though. I would find that to be so much more refreshing than the traditional bills.
Yeah.
Like, I would find that to be like some guy just calling me and yelling "shut your mouth" at me. I would be like, "Fuck you! Who do you think you are?" That would be fun. That would be like a nice little thing we'd be doing together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's usually how it ends up. So I'm like, that doesn't work. Like, I'm gonna call you and be like, yo, I'm like a professional. I'm just trying to get in contact with this person, and they're not picking up their phone. So like, can you get a hold of them? Because I'm sure they're gonna pick up your phone call rather than pick up mine.
It's ruthless. It's still like super ruthless to even when you're calling somebody's family. It's like such a ruthless move to do.
I was gonna say, when we were talking references earlier in the call-in show, the other one when I was thinking the 3 is like the 3 references you put on your payday advance application has to be people that like won't like think less of you when they find out you couldn't pay your fucking payday advance. And because they check numbers and stuff too, when you sign up, that person is also being informed like what's going on in your situation, you know?
Yeah.
And, I always, whenever I had like a resume that I had to like put references on, I would always just put my friends.
Yeah.
And just be like, yeah, just like say some bullshit.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Like it would never be, and like I've had friends that are bosses, so like my actual bosses. So I would put them usually, or like I would just put like my homie.
Yeah.
That's I mean, the jobs you're going for,
and here's some shit like, hey, this is a blah blah blah. Yeah, we're just calling. He listed you as a reference, and then, I mean, I don't know. I've never really had a job where they actually call those people.
Me neither. I think that's the thing about working the kinds of. I never had a job where they called those people either. And I think when you work the low level, entry level kind of service work, like collector or something like that, I just don't think a lot of those companies call people, because the place I worked at was a big phone room too. It was just a call center with a bunch of, it was just lines and lines and lines of those cubby holes. Not, you didn't get a full cubicle, and it wasn't even your seat. Like you weren't even guaranteed to have your seat the next day. And I mean, they were a little more professional, but they weren't dealing with collections. I'd never been anywhere where people were dealing with collections, and I imagine that's a pretty intense room.
There was yellers. I mean, shame is definitely very profitable. There, if you have the ability to see that someone really feels bad about saying they would pay this money back, you can totally like put your finger in their wound and just tell them that like if they don't get something set up today, then they broke their promise, you know, and just make them feel like shit. It's just that, you know, they're spending all this time and effort to chase down this few $100s when like the crooks get away with everything, you know?
Well, and it's also the reason they're doing that is because it employs people. That's the whole thing. Like a bunch of people end up making, I know I'm not saying anything crazy, but a bunch of people end up making a bunch of money out of it and not really having, I mean, is collections hard? That's a good question for you. Like, how do you feel about doing collections? Is it like a hard job? Brett did it too. I'm gonna let Brett answer, and then you, like, how, I mean, is it,
well, let them answer.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. What is it like to do it? Like, what does it do to your head?
Like so hard, especially since I've been like reading leftist literature and like listening to you guys, listening to Chapo, listening to like Trillbillies, like whoever. Like it's so hard because like I feel bad, like because I'm like manipulating these people into paying money that they pretty much don't have, to a debt that was taken out like a year ago for, you know, maybe their car broke down. I mean, sometimes it's like drug addicts and shit, and like, you know, I'm an alcoholic myself, so like, I mean, which is another perk of the job because they just let me drink at work and like, like come in hungover every day, just because like I'm good at it and like I can pretty much do it in my sleep because I've been doing it for 2 years. But yeah, I mean, I do feel bad because like, I mean, I listen to your guys' podcast at work on, you know, Mondays and Thursdays, and, you know, I listen to Chapo and I listen to like whoever, and like I feel bad about it, but it's like I don't have a way out. Like are you getting like what else am I gonna do? Because like I'm getting an all right check, like I'm making like $14 an hour plus commission, and I just like there's no one else that's gonna pay me like that.
Right.
Yeah.
I was in the same position when I was working for Insight. So what was were you in that?
I would say I flamed out of it because I was talking to people that were in a really bad position all the time, and it wore on my soul, and it was just something I knew I couldn't do. I started like doing, you know, I was working for the company that was collecting the debt though. So I was able to like help people out with like their fees and take care of people, but I ultimately just would go in and sit on a dial tone for 8 hours and just like stare at the computer and be like, what am I going to do with my life besides this?
Yeah.
And I was actually very good at it. There was times like when they would say it's a competition today, who can collect the most? I would do it to show that I could do it, but it just didn't make me feel good.
Well,
and I think that what it does, I mean, if anything, what it does is it lets people know that you have khakis and a button-up shirt and that you can show up and sit in front of a computer and you can sidestep into more businessy type stuff or customer service or something else at other places. Not to say that you can look for other opportunities while you're doing this, but you do have experience that you probably can take somewhere else if it grates on you, I guess.
Yeah, and collections is like it's just like a weird industry because people make money even if they don't do it, like they can just sell the debt again. And just keep selling the debt over and over again. You not doing it is not going to mean that somebody else isn't going to run in there and do it tomorrow. Yeah. Like the job position there, it's like when you're in a job like you're at, and believe me, all of my jobs were like that. It's like you're so, I hate to say it, but like you're so fucking replaceable that like it is really hard to get traction at some place where you're going to feel like, I can have a career here forever.
Right.
And you doing this for 2 years, you're probably one of the senior people in your call center, right?
Oh, I am, yeah. But like my drinking has like been so bad at times that like, and this is, I mean, I'm kind of not replaceable because they'll let me just like go on a bender for like 4 days and then just like come back. I mean, the most recent time they kind of like fucked me up and took all my money, and I'm like a little bit broke right now, but like I could pretty much do anything and like they won't fire me, which is another reason why I'm worried because like, if I go somewhere else, I'm gonna like fucking have to like clean up my act or something.
I mean, they will fire you though. That's the other thing is like I know it feels like you're cool with everybody and stuff like that, but you also have to think about how like, I mean, management changes all the time. Like there's also turnover in management and stuff. And I know maybe the owner likes you, but it is at his whim. You are serving at his leisure. And they can make decisions 100%. that freeze you out or hurt you. I mean, I've said this on the show, but when I was an installer, I was a lead for a period of time. And then the person that was my supervisor that made me a lead got a promotion and somebody else became my supervisor. I wasn't a lead anymore. That's all it took. And it was like, that's what showed me that like, every job at that level is precarious, and I think they do that by nature too. They make those jobs feel precarious because it's the easiest way to get somebody to come back and do collections.
Yeah, and I no judgment here, just because you've been so honest. But I just want to. I mean, like, are you having fun with the drinking? Is that what you want to be doing? Is like that? Does it fit into your lifestyle?
Yeah, I mostly just do it to like chill out and like fall asleep. But I mean, when I had money, I was like going out and shit. But like the past 3 weeks, I've just been, doing it just to like chill out and like, fall asleep. But yeah, I mean, as far as the job being precarious, I feel like every job is precarious.
It is.
I mean, it was like Alan Greenspan or something said like, oh, we need to make like all these jobs feel more precarious just so that like people like show up when they have the fucking flu and shit.
Yeah.
To, like no sick day. Like you can't be sick. And I mean, this job might be different, but like I've had jobs in the past where like you're not sick. You're coming in. Like,
yeah. I've had a lot too.
I mean, capitalism is meant for jobs to be precarious.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, but I think that there is also, you can get some sort of, you can find something better, and it does feel like the drinking is hindering your choice of finding like something that would be more suited to what your interests
They're going to take that away. too. I think that's the thing that I wouldn't have faith that is going to always be the case. The thing about, again, when we talk about precarity, the thing about that precarity is that, like, the reason it feels precarious is because anything can happen. Like, they can make anything happen. Everything changes all the time. And the fact that everything changes all the time means that, like, I never got comfortable with a set of rules, I guess, is what I'm trying to say here. Like, I don't remember ever having a job where I was comfortable with a set of rules that was handed down to me where I felt like I could fuck around, because as soon as they found out somebody fucked around with it, even in the lease, they changed it. And I would look for something else because of the toll it takes on you. But also, like, I think you probably have a skill to find something else. And if the drinking, if you want to drink at night, I would never tell somebody what to do with their time. But I would look, I want to stress to you, I'm not like trying to like get you to uproot your life or anything, but I do want to stress to you that, like, these kind of things take a toll on us that maybe we don't see when we're doing them, And like, there was a period where, I've told all the stories about my anxiety around work and shit like that. And that wasn't just that job. That was like it built like this fucking, like, this is going to sound so bad. And at the time I was on painkillers. I was an opioid addict, but it, like, this tower keeps building of, like, deferring feelings and stuff, and at some point it comes back and gets you. And, like, that spiritual crush that sometimes people feel when they have a job, that's a very real thing, and that can come back. That can cause, maybe, if you think some of the drinking's harmful, that's probably why, you're like stressed out. And I think that, like, for me, getting out of those situations was the best case for me. And I recognize that people got to work and everybody's got to have a job, but I would just fill out applications. I totally wouldn't worry about the rules at a new place, because I really feel like if you at least, like, send out a resume, I think you're an attractive person to hire, because you've done a job for 2 years that nobody does for 2 years, and that, like, you could make more money and probably be a lot happier doing something else. I really think so.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead.
The turnover is insane.
Yeah.
Like, there, it's just like in and out, in and out, in and out. There's like 4 out of like 40 or 50 people, there's like probably 4 people there that I've been, and we've switched offices a few times, but there's probably like 4 or 5 people there that I've been working with since the beginning.
It's really like precarious.
40 or 50 people, and the turnover is insane, because like people get in there and they're like, "Oh, I can't do this." Like, this is stressful, and like, it's probably like adding to like my problem. But I mean, with phone room experience down here, you're gonna do. I mean, any job that I can get with some phone room experience is gonna be like fucking soul crushing. Like, there's, I mean, you sell ads to a magazine, or you sell, what have it, like medical devices to old people is another one I've heard, or like, I mean, South Florida's a fucking scam, bro.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. Here's what I want to do for you. I know you probably don't want to give too much information, but is there like a way that you could identify the part of Florida that you're in, that if somebody knows of a job that's paying $15 an hour, that they could contact us and try to help you out?
Yeah, I would absolutely do that. It's Pompano Beach.
Pompano Beach. We will DM us, and if we hear so, I mean, I don't know if we're going to hear anything, But like, I worry. I'm not worried about like the drinking and stuff like that. I very much worry about the spiritual toll something like this takes on you. And like, I'm still untangling all of that stuff from my job. Like now, I haven't worked a real job in 9 years. And I'm still untangling all of that stuff. And I don't want to, I mean, honestly, I don't want to see it happen to a single other person in this world. And like, if we can do something about it, I would love to be able to help. And like we were saying, I would definitely I would just consider seeing like if there's a place or any way to make that kind of money, because I gotta tell you that when you get into something that feels more right, it'll stabilize you and it'll make you personally feel better mentally. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying like it'll make you stop drinking. I'm saying that it won't make you sad when you drink. is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I was depressed. Here's what I did to myself when I was installing cable and I got super depressed. I said, I go into these people's houses and they aren't taking care of their kids and they're just sitting and watching TV. This job is evil, is the way that I felt. And like, a lot of my anxiety sort of built from there. And like the precarity of that job also really hurt me. Like it really caused me a lot of anxiety. And I think that maybe if you have anxiety, it's the job. It's that toll that it's taking on you. And like when I was working jobs like that, I just always was like, let me form an exit plan here. Let me say I'm now looking for jobs all the time. And then if I find one, I find one. But if I don't, I still have this job. Everything's fine, Yeah,
I would just add that, like, I'm a drinker myself, but and I don't want to say that you're going to have to give it up for the rest of your life, but you don't want it to be something that's holding you back. You don't want to stay somewhere just because it would interrupt your drinking schedule. That's not what life is about. And, it can be, it doesn't also mean you have to give it up forever, but it would just be better to change both of those circumstances, I think, and see who comes out on the other side if you can. That's a hard, and that's, I know it's hard, that's easier said than done, of course.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know. I mean, I worked in factories for a long time.
Yeah.
And
you didn't like that?
That's.
I'm telling you. I mean, if you can put up with a call center for 2 years, you have the brain. You have the ability to do office politics. You can probably survive in an office where people get paid comfortably to do stupid shit. A smaller office where
I think so. I think also
sure.
Where my wife works, which is it's a reputable big company, like. The call center people make like pretty good money there, and they're not doing anything where they get yelled at. You know what I mean?
Well, they're not shaming people, yeah.
Well, they're just and they're not. They don't get in trouble though. They don't get screamed at by them, and it's kind of a more. It'll make you feel better. I promise. I think that it'll make you feel better. Like I understand where you're at.
Yeah, I mean, I was doing. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I've totally been there. I understand where you're at exactly. I for a very long time felt very trapped, and I know what that feeling is like.
Yeah, and I was doing like blue collar shit for so long that like, man, I just want to sit down in a chair and like sell a phone.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah, I put years in I put 5 years in driving forklifts, and they were like, "We're never going to make you the manager because you don't have a college education." And I'm like, "Well, I'm not going to just fucking work at this warehouse for $9 an hour all day."
I'm with you too. The reason I worked in a call center was the same thing. I was roofing. I was a dishwasher. I worked at a bunch of fast food restaurants, and I got this I got hired at this call center, and it was just like, I will do fucking anything to sit in a chair all day. Like, it just, all I wanted when I was working blue collar jobs was to sit in a chair. Then once I got in the chair, I was like, I can't sit in a fucking chair all day. I got to get outside. And that's when I went for cable. You know, I'm more of a fucking weirdo though, where I can never be happy with anything ever. So it's just one of those things where it's like, as soon as I was in a chair, I was like, why the fuck would I want to sit in a chair all day? Like, I'm never satisfied.
Well, yeah, it's like
the first week of sitting in a
like all of a sudden I'm sitting in a chair all day and I'm like, I need to go to the gym or something.
Yeah, right.
I need to go for a jog.
Yeah, so you have all that extra
but
time.
I'm working construction all day, and it's like, God damn it! I just want to fucking take a seat. I just want to take a nap in this truck.
Totally,
absolutely,
totally. Well,
listen, I'm taking a 2-hour lunch break.
Yeah. I did that at the cable company a lot. I'd be so fucking beat. I'd just be like, look, I'm gonna fucking take a nap, and I'm gonna come back to work and finish the day out. You know?
Yeah. Takes a toll.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks for calling in. We really appreciate it. It was really interesting, and you know, keep in touch. KIT, as I like to say.
Yeah, good calling you guys. I'll try to keep updated. I mean, this is my first time, but like, you guys are fucking cool as fuck.
Oh, I appreciate
as I expected.
that. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes.
Have a good night.
Peace.
All right, yeah, I'll talk to you guys.
That's all.
That was fun. I felt like Loveline there for
It
like
was.
blue collar Loveline.
Yeah, I was talking to, who were we talking to? Somebody, one of our friends just past 35, turned 36, and is like, oh, they're on their way to 40 now. They feel this or that. And I'm like, you know what? 4 years. You got 4 years to go. And if I think about 4 years ago, I'm absolutely embarrassed. I'm not the same person from 4 years ago at all. And you know, especially in like some of these jobs that I had, like the warehouse for 5 years felt like this is what the next 50 years of my life was going to be. And then just a year, 18 months out of it, I was a completely new person. Like
the end of history.
It is, yeah.
Like.
It puts it's chapters. It's life is chapters, and until you go to the next one or change things up, it's going to be the same thing every day. This is going to be it, unless you try to find a way out of it, you know, or something different. And I tell you what, man, I love to party. I love drinking and doing drugs and all that stuff, but not when you're not paying attention to your family or kids, not when you're spending all your time in fucking jail, robbing, stealing. If you're not showing up to work, and if you can't leave a job because you want to get fucked up too much, it's like, I mean, that's not smart. That's dictating what you do with your life.
I would say build boundaries around it. I know that's difficult for people to do, but like building boundaries around any kind of substance use,
right,
I think is always very smart. Like, I have pretty strict boundaries about when I get high because I've had problems in the past.
Right.
And I just want to be like, you know, I want to be on the up and up, you know?
Yeah.
And like, that thing you just said that like really blew me the fuck away was when you worked at the warehouse for 5 years. It felt like that was going to be the next 50 years, because that really is what every job feels like. It's like, it doesn't matter how small the job is. When I was working at the goddamn camera store, I thought the next 50 years of my life was going to be at that fucking camera store. It feels impossible to do something else. Lyft driving, I thought, well, I'm just a Lyft driver now. That's just what I do.
Yeah.
And it's like, it all feels impossible. It's like moving a mountain to get it to change. But then we don't ever think about the several times we've changed already.
Right.
I mean, maybe if you're like 22, 23 years old, like, I can understand that. But like, if you get to 30 or 35, then you're like, you have been 1,000 different people, and also you've probably worked 1,000 different jobs. Or, I mean, maybe people don't work as many jobs as I did at the time, but like, I think most people work 4 or 5 just because, like, you know, you go to school, then a lot of people go to college and work part-time in college, out of high school, and then they go get their real job, and then they start, once they get their real job, they get like a low level, like entry level real job, and then they do 2 more steps to real jobs. I think people at least work 5, and every one of those 5 probably felt like the end of history. You know?
Yeah, and I mean, it also, there is a huge amount of pressure for young people to feel like they should have it together, and I want to say that I am 36 and I don't have it together still. I don't know how, I don't have any rules. I have better boundaries. You're right. I have better ways to keep my addictions in line. I have better ways to keep my overspending in line, but it's only come through a decade of misery. It's only come through that miserable time of not having an end in sight, and then finding that part of you that's like wants to do something different, and achieves and makes the steps to do something different. You know?
Yeah, I'm with you. I agree with you. It was really a long time for me of being like, this is what my life is. I'm past the age where you get to be like, when I was 20, when I turned 28 or 27, I was like, Jim Morrison was already dead, man.
Yeah.
You know, and I just felt like there's no way I'm ever going to get to live any semblance of like do something cool.
Right.
And then like it just I ended up getting lucky, and I get to do something kind of cool and different as a job, you know? But there was like a lot of luck and a lot of work and a lot of luck.
Right.
And you know,
but there is a lot of experience that comes from that. Like I said, I mean, you got to give yourself more credit. You got to shoot a little bit higher than what you're doing and try to find someone that'll take a chance on you. But you've obviously showed the skills to put up with bullshit. Once again, like it's the same thing that we talked about at the beginning with the references. Do you have 3 people that will get on the phone and verify you, like that trust you enough to verify? Are you capable to just get 3 competent people on the phone to verify for you? You know, it's the same thing.
I can do that.
Right, I know.
Not
you can.
bosses.
Right, but it's just,
I can get people.
This stuff too is like you've proven yourself that you can keep it together. He had good emotional intelligence. He knew what was going on. Dude. He was very smart, obviously, you know, but just accepting this like shitty fate.
I mean, when you're
I did it too.
A senior employee at a place like that,
right?
It's kind of fucking nice, dude.
Sure.
It's like you know what it was like to get hired. You see the new hires doing the new hire job, but you don't have to do that. You've somehow figured out a way that like, hey, I'm not on the phones anymore. You know, you can like get yourself off the phones and shit like that. And like, you're also the person that's been there longest. Everybody comes to you if they have questions or need help. The boss trusts you. Yeah. And it's like you get in that situation where you're like, I'm making $14 an hour. Why would I leave this? Everybody's nice to me and they let me do anything I want to do, and I have power here. But there's also like I've talked about these levels of job, but there is this other level of entry level work that actually gives you the chance to move up to a middle level, where a middle level is much better than the lower rung of that ladder. Like I worked in the lower rung of that ladder the whole fucking time, and it was tough. And all it would have taken is some dedication and work from me to get out of there that I wasn't willing to give. You know?
Sure.
That's it.
All right. Well, thanks for calling Street Fight. Those of you that called in, it was a great show. We appreciate all y'all that took the time to make it through our late start and our dropped calls. If you want to hear more of the band, they are Never Better. You can find them at neverbettershreds.bandcamp.com. We are Street Fight Radio Patreon people. You're getting that Shocktober. What's the next episode of Shocktober?
Bubba the Love Sponge, Tom Likas.
With what guest? You and
Chris James.
Chris and Brian are doing a special look at Bubba and whoever else you said.
Oh, there isn't Tom Likas. There might be a guest. What you're saying is, we can't announce it, but we might have a cool guest in that episode.
Yes. And if you don't have the ability to sign up for a month-to-month Patreon subscription, you can buy the first volume of Shocktober by going to store.streetfightradio.com. For $5, you get last year's edition. It's 6 episodes that Brian and Felix did covering, famous shock jocks. This time around, we have Chris James, prank call expert, Very great guy. And you've done Opie and Anthony and Loveline are available right now. And what's coming up?
So Don Imus and Tom Likas and Bubba this Friday. Next week it will be Don Imus with Jesse Farrar from Your Kickstarter Sucks. I think you all know him. He's a sweet guy and he's very funny. And then we'll have Howard Stern with Mike Hale. And then after that, we'll do the wrap up. And as you know, the wrap up has a bunch of guests. We're going to have some surprises in there. We got Classic Shelb from the Ron and Fez show on the wrap up. So it's fun. And there's going to be a lot of surprises. There could be some surprises, especially on this next episode. We're really ratcheting it up. And that Loveline episode, I thought it was a really good episode, and it was a really good time. Brett was really good on it, and Chris was really good on it. And that Opie and Anthony episode, good. It was good. It was fun. It was a lot of insecure Opie, which a lot of Shocktober listeners know that's one of my favorite. I love insecure guys so much. And if you're a fan of Shocktober, Opie will be making an appearance on the Bubba episode too. He just did the Bubba the Love Sponge show, and believe it or not, Bubba tries to get a job from him. So
What else can you expect? All right. Well, thanks for listening to Street Fight. We'll see you on Wednesday night. Peace.